Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. That's right. We are live once again because we are always live. We're the Wrasslin for Life Network, and we're bringing you our weekly podcast. Let's rumble. We got lots to talk about: AEW news, WWE news, rumors, stories, scandals, more. So much to get into, and yeah, we got some all-time greats to talk about. Other than that, folks, it's going to be a great night. Thank you for being here. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live. We are ready to go. We are back at it again. And yes, folks, if you didn't know, I am Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, the guy that just won't go home.
The guy that has to get handcuffed and dragged out like Dexter Lumis did on Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Spoiler
and
alert.
Of course, that pretty gentleman next to me is the master of mayhem, the Baron of bad times.
Oh, but you called me pretty though. I'm so pretty. I'm like Max Dupree.
Right, we're gonna play the heel game with you. No, this is my boy. Obviously, you guys know Mr. Big Nick, everyone's best friend. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. It's still been a chaotic week in wrestling, but I'm glad it's not every day that like earth-shattering news is happening. Like we can at least kind of catch our breath for a little bit. Now that I say that, the fucking Danhausen curse is gonna pop up out of somewhere. And something bad somewhere is going to happen, and we're going to be back here, you know.
Hey, Friday's coming, and Fridays have been good. Well, depending on how you look at it, but Fridays have been hectic. We had a couple Fridays ago. We were on for what, 3 times, 4 times?
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of 3 times, 4 times, this Friday we're going to be covering 3 shows.
3 shows.
Quick.
Right? Oh, it's going to be crazy. For those who don't know, we will be doing SmackDown and Rampage, our usual doubleheader Friday, but this week we're going triple, and we're going to bring up Impact Emergence again. Impact is doing a Friday show, so we're going to be here covering all 3 shows all at the same time. We're looking forward to it. You know, the Impact pay-per-views have been solid, really solid, so don't miss that one.
Yeah, and that's just proof, folks. And then especially on this weekend, we have, you know, pretty much hardcore weekend happening. We're covering GCW Homecoming and XPW right after that. So if you need any bit of wrestling content, you're watching anything in professional wrestling, whether you're a WWE fan, AEW fan, you don't like either of them companies, this is the place to be.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a loaded weekend, and then we're always here for a good time. So tune in, folks. Tell everyone you know it's going to be a party, especially, you know, a triple header Friday, double header Saturday. You cannot go wrong. So with that being said, if you haven't tuned into the podcast before, it's Let's Rumble. What we do here is we go through the topics and the headlines and the rumors and the stories. We do a little bit of chatting with the fans, but we kind of just let it go. We shoot from the hip. Then it's legit a shoot. Like,
oh, this is if you can't stand the heat, get the hell up out the kitchen.
Yeah,
this is about to just turn into, you know, shoot club here.
That's what we do. So yeah, we you know, we're gonna dig into some of the, you know, the big things around wrestling right now. Just quickly before we get rolling, big shout out to A to the K Wrestling Show. Friends, competitors in the Fantasy Wrestling League. Go check them out. Great guys. So give them some love.
Yes, absolutely. Big shout out to H to the K.
Absolutely. That's us. That's great. That's also us because we're delayed. Vlogman says, let's do this. Absolutely. Chris Ding Dong. Hello, buddy. What's going on? How you doing?
I like that. That might just now be Chris's gimmick for people just tuning in the first time. Chris has been a lifelong Bayley fan. Die hard, ride or die, #1, tier 1 Bayley fan. So if his whole stick now is just he does Bayley's gimmick in our chat, I'm here for it.
Right. I'm good with it. Jason, welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here. I did see your comment, but we will get to that sooner than later. Tribal Chief, welcome back. Good to see you. Thank you for being here as well. But with that being said, folks, I mean, I think we're going to dive into some of the things that everyone's already talking about. The chat seems ready to go. The you know, got some.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well start with it since we've brought it up. This has always been a, you know, this man's been a controversial topic at times on this channel.
Who?
Let me in.
Oh yeah, you want to start there? Let's start there.
It's already been brought up. Might as well.
It's the door has been opened, so
Right.
let's start there. We're still talking about Bray Wyatt, folks, and as Jason eloquently pointed out, there are rumors that he has signed with Triple H. Yes, it's very much a dirt sheet story at this point. I haven't heard anybody reputable kind of drop any information on it yet. But we've speculated for so long on this. It's got to happen sooner than later. And maybe Bray was waiting it out for something, maybe AEW just didn't feel right. And here's his moment. Here's a guy that might give him, and I don't think anyone's going to get complete creative control, but I can see Bray having a very big say. And I see Triple H being the type of guy that wants to listen to a guy like Bray.
Oh, absolutely. Like, that's the thing is Bray coming back, honestly, I think almost to professional wrestling with Vince still in charge, never going to happen. That's when you started to hear all these talks about him wanting to be in movies and being involved in production and this and that and looking at ventures outside of professional wrestling. I almost at this point don't think he was ever considering going to AEW. I think that might have just been a leveraging tool,
Maybe.
because I almost feel like AEW couldn't do if he, and this is more just me assuming based off of his characters like Bray Wyatt and the Fiend and everything, that AEW right now couldn't do the same production value and everything that WWE could with that. Like, he already knows WWE can shoot that really well and can do what he wants. He just wants to actually tell his story versus what Vince wants. So I do see him very much going to WWE. I still think that is very much if he's going to come back to wrestling. I think it's going to happen. I just don't know exactly as to how soon it is. I feel like at this point it's a little bit like how we were at times before with the MJF situation, everything of just everybody, the minute anything comes out about it, we all instantly just jump because we're already trying to reach an end game of that. All he's put out really is a very poetic and very beautiful statement about professional wrestling, but I don't think that was
He
leading
took a
at
lot of
all.
heat for that, but I was like, why?
I saw people trying to say that was him hinting at where he was going or this or that or whatever. I didn't see that at all.
No.
And even today I saw that, unfortunately, I believe he had one of his friends, his childhood friends, pass away.
Yes.
So I think that's even more, obviously, T's and P's for that. But if you're dealing with that type of situation, you're not really focused on, I think, whether you're going to sign with that company or that company that's involved in a wrestling war while power struggles are happening, while change of commands are happening, while allegations about hush money and payments and everything is happening. If he's going to come back to wrestling, it's going to happen to WWE. I just don't think it's going to happen as soon as everybody thinks it is.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about maybe the next Saudi show or down the line, but shit, man, he's been out forever. I mean, at what point do we just get him back?
Well, I think now with Papa Paul in charge, we're very much gonna get him back.
Is it Clash?
Huh? No,
I like
not
the idea
that
Clash.
fast. I'm more of saying it, with Vince in charge, we still saw. I mean, our boy CJ. I wish he was on with us right now. I know he's coming. But we saw that Vince just did not have a liking at all for Bray, and Bray was, I guess, Bray to some people may have fit more of that whole difficult to work with aspect, but that's just because he actually pointed out the flaws and everything in their creative.
Thinking the people that you have to listen to are idiots is not being difficult to work with if you're right.
Well, that's the thing, though. But yeah, that's the thing is Vince had to realize that he was right. So that's why I'm saying they may have labeled him that, which they do that with everybody that actually stands up for themselves. But now I think that we've seen Hunter already bring back Karrion Kross. We've already seen him bring back, like I mentioned when I was talking about getting you to actually have a night off on this stream, like Dexter Lumis. All these people just instantly in a flash. Dakota Kai, Io Sky, everything's just moving at such a lightning pace. If we've still, that would be the ultimate trump card to pull out of his hat. I just don't think that things are lining up perfectly for that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, so I don't necessarily disagree with that, especially when I was wrong about the whole triple threat. Apparently they're not going the triple threat route. So again, I was inaccurate, or at least presuming something that's not going to take place, at least at this time. And if it ends up being a triple threat, great. But it feels like, yeah, then where do you fit him in? I do think Bray returning in front of 70,000 people, that's a fucking an earthquake. That's fucking shake everything to the core.
Oh, absolutely. That's going to be a where were you moment. That's if we want to talk wrestling wars and everything like that. Like when Hulk Hogan dropped the leg on Macho Man at joined the NWO.
Right.
That was a where were you moment.
Mm-hmm.
Bray Wyatt showing back up in AEW or in WWE,
Mm-hmm.
especially if he comes back as like the Fiend or something like that.
Yeah.
Then that will be a where you moment when it comes to professional wrestling.
No, I completely agree. Sean, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Chris, we'll talk about Dakota and Bayley and all that in a second.
Yeah, you're just friends with them by affiliation.
Right. Triple H has said that said he wants creative team and talents for ideas to the shows and the characters. Absolutely.
Why yeah, he said that he wants his whole office to be pretty much an open door policy and everything. It's not like Vince to where you hear those stories to where people would have to wait in line and hope to get a chance to, speak to Vince and everything. And by the time you've talked to him, he's already gotten 20 people talking to him. But Hunter very much wants everybody involved, realizes that this is a team effort. This is not one thing. And I think, thankfully, hopefully, Tony's starting to realize that too.
Well, I think Triple H knows, and based on based on his career, sorry, Nick, but based on his career, based on what we saw with NXT, the black and gold brand, he 100% seems to get the idea that rule one, if you want to get somebody over, is they have to be believable.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And if they're not believable, they're not getting over. And if they don't get over, the show sucks. Oh. So he needs them to be genuine. He needs them to buy into what they're doing. Wow, I glitched. You get guys and girls that are doing just bullshit fake acting and no real connection to the character they're doing. It's bad, and it shows.
Oh yeah, well, we've even talked about it on the streams with the watch parties and everything like that. Of he's now just letting these people go out and be pro wrestlers. That certain words that Vince has banned and everything, like actually using the term wrestler on a pro wrestling show was banned. So now you can actually hear that, but you can tell it just in the way every performer comes out. Even on commentary, like Michael Cole seems like a whole different person compared to who he was before. Hunter has one of the best minds for what works in today's professional wrestling. Like he's always been one of those guys that has just a mind for the business. Granted, that's part of what helped him with his, rumored a little bit politicking and manipulating. And I've said this all along. This has been a little bit of Game of Thrones. He finally got checkmate. But he knows what fans want and what's going to draw an audience in.
Absolutely. Default, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. We'll get to some of your questions as we move forward here. So we will get to those, but thank you for joining the show. Boss Monster, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. There we go. Now, we talked about this, and it's interesting. Bringing back Bray will be a huge step in the right direction. Let's say that there is a chance that Bray Wyatt's still 100% a free agent. Mm-hmm. Do you think he is a turning point in any type of, momentum? It's hard to say because, the WWE is still dominating, but is he not feel like a little bit of a nail in the coffin or a, huge step up?
I wouldn't go as far as to say like a nail in the coffin per se, but like I said, it's one of those. It would be a game changer. Like I compared it to when Hogan turned heel for the first time. And I know people are going to say, well, it's just a guy going back to the company that released him before. Right, but this man is the most sought after free agent. If we're looking at this like professional sports, this is right now kind of LeBron James sitting in the free agent market, and you're waiting to see which team he's going to sign with. That's what it feels like with Bray, of that wherever he goes. If he does go to AEW, there was some people speculating towards the beginning of all of this that he was going to go to Impact or something like that, because they very much do the spooky, the fantastique. A lot, quite frequently. But wherever he goes, that's an instant, earmark in your book. That's all right, we got one. That's a game changer.
No, it really is. I mean, it's again, if you do it right. But now, again, we saw it last night where you have some names that you can use, and I don't think it's a very much of a coincidence that great Punk's back in good time, because they need some good press. He's a big name. He's drawn more eyes than anybody in the company. But to get back to the point, as far as Bray goes, yeah, I mean, if he comes in and they book it right and he goes straight to the top and he matters right away and he's fucking with your best guys, then you really have a chance to make people pay attention and listen. I think it'd be a huge feather in Tony's cap if he could pull it off and do it properly. If he's going to the WWE, like you said, I don't know if it's quite a nail in the coffin, but again, it's a big deal, and it's more eyes, more attention, more interest in a brand that's already stealing momentum with. Listen, we've got Karrion Kross back. We get Dexter Lumis back in kind of a weird way. Scarlett's with Cross. Bayley's back with Io and Dakota. So we see all of these are little pieces. And Bayley's a big name. I'll give her credit, but she was more returning from injury. But with the rest of them, they're not gigantic names, right? So Bray walking through the door and coming back, boom, it has that potential of.
Bray's made himself a household name. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Is you still have people who aren't exactly even wrestling fans that still know like the whole Yowie Wowie,
right?
Granted, I know that that's been a thing, but Bray Wyatt's one of those upper guys that has become a household name beyond just your wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Cross, Dexter, Io, Dakota, those are all great. Those were huge moments still. Those were missiles getting shot at AEW. Mm-hmm. Bray coming in is dropping the fucking big one if he comes back, especially like say if he pops up and is involved with something with Roman, even if he's not exactly going for the belt. Because like I've said, if he does the Fiend, you use him like the Undertaker. He pops in and out. He's mm-hmm. not there week in and week out. But yeah, if he's done right and instantly, and that's the thing, like what you said with Triple H, is Triple H now takes everybody, makes them believable and treats them seriously. Right. We saw Ezekiel get pretty much killed off on Monday Night Raw.
He's done.
Elias back. We never even got Elrod debuting.
Yeah, no, Triple H said, fuck Elrod. We're not going
right, exactly. Yeah. So there's going to be a little bit of revisionist history here, but it's going to very much pay off in the end.
Right? No, and you really hope it does. But with that being said, before we see anything else on this channel, we can't do it just the two of us. We need the man, the myth, the legend. Let him in, folks. Let him in.
Speaking of returns,
I bet he's muted.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Sorry.
Right, yeah.
For those of you listening, CJ muted himself.
Man, I know, right? It's crazy. What's up, y'all?
How you doing?
I don't know how I'm doing. That's the crazy thing about it. My life went upside down real quick. I forgot how stupid college is, and
yeah.
And so
it's all right. Well, we got.
That's why you got the fam for.
Man, right? Well, y'all come do my goddamn college work because I'm tired of it. Sick of it.
Hit me up. I can help you out. I got you. Right?
I remember that one for sure. What y'all been talking about today? I got a big ass.
All right, we opened up with the man you wanted to talk about specifically.
Yeah. Oh damn! I got a big ass spoiler.
I'm listening.
Go ahead.
For SmackDown. So you guys know the guy that I've been talking about that's been on Twitter riding WWE's dick now, right?
Oh, who?
AJ Francis, aka Top Dollar.
Oh,
they're
Yes.
signed. They got signed. Him and Adonis and the girl B-Fab. They all got signed. Back
so
to
they're
WWE.
bringing back basically Hit Row without Swerve.
They're bringing back. It's not Hit Row. It's something else. I forget what the name was called, but it's a different faction without Hit Row. I forget what it's called. I'm gonna look it up.
It's
and
probably music related.
It is, but I'm excited though. So
I mean, I think a lot of us thought that Hit Row had a lot of potential. I mean, and especially Swerve. I'm a big fan of Swerve. And even what he's doing in AEW, I think the guy's good. I mean,
but you know, it works out though, because Swerve was supposed to be the Roman Reigns of that group, basically. Not, not what I'm saying is
the top dog.
He's supposed to be the top guy. I'm gonna go solo while you guys be tag team. So Adonis and Top Dollar being a tag team, that's gonna be cool. Now, I did lie about B-Fab. I didn't see that in the report, so I don't think that she's coming back. But they're slated to be at SmackDown in North Carolina. So I guess we'll see them tomorrow, man. That's gonna be crazy. I'm excited for it. I just want to see what they're gonna do, and I hope that we finally get a split in the division now. Because we got a lot. We got women tag. The tag matches on there is kind of crazy, but we got women's back, back now. Sasha Banks is still supposed to be coming back, but there was some news on that too, that she's not signed.
Interesting.
Yeah, that came from Sean Ross out. So I don't know. I don't know. Like I told you, I wasn't believing it until I seen.
I think that's just to still kind of to put out the fire on that thing. But no, with Hit Row, WWE very much, we all were wondering what the hell they were doing of just releasing them like instantly after they just called them up.
Man.
So it's going to be interesting to see at least 2 of them, maybe 3 of them back, and how they're going to do that. Maybe,
a tag team straight up is good for me. I think.
This is what it was called. Their group is called Hitmakers. That's what the 3 were called before they got Swerve. So
there you go.
So seeing them on SmackDown. Hit Row is the 2.0 version of Hitmakers.
Oh, okay.
I guess they added on Swerve.
With AJ, I mean, if they come back as a tag team, I mean, then there's no real issue. If they come back as a faction, would they have someone else? And does that make Top Dollar the top dog?
Hell no. I think that will strictly be a tag team. And I do want to touch on this too. I think that they got released because they had the Usos, the New Day, the Street Profits, and then they basically added in another black group. I have to throw it in because that's exactly what it looks like. They added in Top Dollar. I mean, what's her name? Hit Row? Yeah, they added in Hit Row, another group of guys and a girl that can rap. So now you got 4 groups of people that's doing the same stick. So I think that's pretty much why they really released them. But now, since we got Hunter back and he knows what the hell to do with them.
Well, and Top Dollar got himself in a little bit of hot water with the Jinder Mahal freestyle that didn't quite go over as well as
he dropped the Jinder Mahal freestyle.
Yeah, when they were involved in a feud,
he dropped a diss track.
Something that kind of people ended up taking it the wrong way. But Hunter's even come out and said, even like we've talked about with Cody, if Cody was very much taking shots specifically at Hunter. Hunter's going to do what's best for business. I know that's always been the authorities' kind of slogan, but he's going to do whether
that's funny.
Somebody's had, an issue a bit before with the company or whatever. He's going to try and smooth out everything he can, as long as it's what's going to be the best for WWE.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man, because WWE is pretty much, they've taken back over, the industry when it comes down to they've always been popular or whatever, but they're pretty much taking back over that fan interaction. People are wanting to come back. And on top of that, have you guys seen how big the goddamn SoFi Stadium is?
What's that?
The WrestleMania venue in the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Goddamn, that building big as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's like the most expensive NFL stadium.
Man, I was because they were there right now, promoting the launch or whatever.
Right.
And I was looking, I'm like, bro, the damn seats from the middle look like fucking ants. I was like, God damn. So I can't wait to go there. I just know it's expensive. I can just smell the expense.
That's crazy. What's up, Chris? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Dro, thank you for being here. Default, we will get to Mox and Punk when we get to the AEW section of this little shindig. we were going to start with AEW, but Bray came up and we haven't stopped. So we'll get to our AEW side of things in the next segment.
AEW.
Oh, now, if we're going to stay with the WWE, we'll take it away from Triple H a little bit here.
Hunter.
I kind of want to talk about something a little more somewhat entertaining. At this point. Vince is still making it rain. What the fuck?
What the fuck? It's the what the fuck, bro?
The man that Hush Money won't forget.
Man.
Like, dude, how many quiet people do you have in your life? Look, my shit going off.
Right.
This man that went dark.
Vince and he
Fucking Batman. Right, fucking Batman.
Shut my shit down.
How much? I think that we'll get to see these allegations at least rise up to at the maximum of 30,000. I mean 30 million.
We're up.
Really?
To,
you think that's another? That'd be
10.
like another 11. Yeah, no,
like
11.
Well, we're at 19.5. So just
so about yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we'll get up to 30 million. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, hey,
that's got to be. That would be
that. Trying
like
to set a fucking high score.
5 to 6 people at least.
Hey,
What?
I just assume
this guy's trying to set a high score.
Hey,
Like he's on a fucking
playing skee-ball when it comes to Hush Money.
right. Like,
hey, I ain't lying. Shit, it could be worse. It could go up to 100 million. You never
But
know.
that's
This
the thing is, I
$1
feel like
billion
he's just sitting back there. Vince is sweating like a mother right now
But
of just
I don't
literally
know if
like,
he
please
is.
stop
I
looking
can't
through my
say
records.
it.
He ain't
I
gonna get
don't
in
know if
trouble
that's
for
true.
it. He ain't getting in trouble no more.
What do
he
you
get in trouble?
mean?
He is.
What did he?
He's getting federally investigated.
He doesn't give a
fuck it.
fuck.
Right.
He's like, I'm gonna be dead soon. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Oh, you think he's literally just like, fuck it, I'm going out in style?
He's Ric Flair. From
Well,
the
I mean,
No, I just said it
Oh,
because
God.
I don't think he's going to jail.
Oh.
I don't. You can investigate me as long as I ain't got to do no jail time. Do what the fuck you want to do. I don't care. I'm a billionaire. I started this big ass company. Fuck you. You can't take away nothing else from me. I paid a couple whores to give me a little sloppy doppy,
Whoa.
and that's it. That's it. Hey, that's how you feel, bro. If you are a billionaire, these were whores.
Hey. I'm definitely gonna have to find the edit button on this one.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, if you're a billionaire, man, Dro, why do you keep tagging the channel? We can see you. That's very confusing.
I like it. I
Let
like
him
it.
go.
I was so
Let him go.
confused at first.
I like it.
I was so damn confused. I was like, wait, why you tagging the channel?
Wow. All right, we'll get back to that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no,
But yeah, Vince, another 5 million comes out, more of the same. Again, it's baffling to me that you have that much money, that you spent this much money. Like, there's things he owns that he spent less on, including an entire wrestling company.
I was just going to say WWE.
right. Vince has spent more on Hush Money than he bought WCW for.
Like, fuck, it is insane.
Right, but that's the thing is when you have that type of money, like, why are you having to pay these people to be quiet about what you're doing? That's the thing to me. Like, this isn't.
Why can't you hook up with somebody that's not?
You're married. First off, let's start there.
I don't mean shit, bro. You are
Well,
a billionaire.
way out the window.
Linda doesn't seem
We've
too hard.
already realized now Linda was just a prop.
Linda, why can't you say Linda like that? You sound
Linda,
very concerned
Linda.
for her well-being.
Well,
It's my
I mean,
Linda.
Linda, listen.
Listen, Linda.
I can't do nothing.
Oh my god.
Oh shit, we're losers. No, that's funny as hell. But where were we going with that? Linda
About how
doesn't
Vince is married right now, still technically, and paying almost 20 million hush money to women that. Why are you needing to pay them to be quiet in the first place?
Because I'm married, damn it.
Well, no, you can
doesn't
still
mean
have
you
an
should.
affair or get this magical thing called a divorce if you're that unhappy.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
but
no.
did they
We had
sign
the
did
reports
they
of
sign-
him, like,
did he sign a
sending-
prenup?
He probably has the
Yeah,
most
what a
ironclad prenup in the history of prenups of like, we divorce, you die. That's the rules. Like, you
Right,
cannot,
make sure
you
you
cannot
get
go
a
anywhere.
prenup. But
There's
yeah,
no way.
but-
Like, Linda could cripple this man. He publicly has been outed
He
for how
already
many
is crippled.
affairs? She could easily.
He's out of his own company. He's out of his baby.
Well, yeah,
To a certain
kinda.
extent.
Yeah, tell that to the
Oh,
sheriff.
But the
no,
thing
he's-
about this is, Nick, how would you feel about this? Let's say, for instance, you're Vince McMahon
Mm-hmm.
and you're in his current situation, but you still own 80% of your company that your father built.
Mhm.
Are you really tripping off because you don't have any power of that company anymore, even though you own 80% of it, so you're paid until that company becomes
I'm not
dysfunctional?
tripping over that because I'm still making, money regardless. What
Buckles
I'm
of money,
tripping
fuck
over
it.
is the fact that I might have my ass dragged out into court and everything, and that everything that comes up and is dragged out with me at this point is still tangentially be attached to WWE.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, too, like I'm not trying to be fucking dark or sinister with this at all, but to me, it's very much of like by the time they get me in court, I'll be fucking dead. I don't care. Like I just
It's the fact that when we mimic the guy's name, everybody fucking sounds like the dude.
right.
It's sad. It's like he has that voice when anybody named damn. I'm pretty sure my son can mimic that voice at this point.
Right.
You're fired. Like, I mean,
Well, that's the thing is now you're seeing all this stuff that came out with Vince where that was on TV. That's not aging well at all.
No.
But hey, Vince
actually,
said he's phenomenal when it comes down to court. He don't know how to get beaten in court from the federal court. So
that's
he
because he's got money.
hey, yeah,
Much
I know.
money to be exact.
Exactly.
McDivitt has earned his paycheck, and that man has done wonders for Mr. Vince. And we'll see how this all plays out. I mean, even the same thing. He's at 80 or whatever, so they find out that he defrauded a bunch of shit. Vince isn't going to jail. He isn't going to. I mean, there's something.
Every time his name gets brought up and gets drugged through the mud, WWE is going to be attached to that.
Well, I wonder when at some point, if he's deemed bad for business, to coin his term, do they force him out?
Well, completely? I think that's why we are where we are now of what made him step down, because that was all a very sudden thing, like we've talked about before. So I think that they're very much trying to detach themselves as much as they can from Vince.
Well, they have to. Just making it like, dude, this guy, like, and we always said this was just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, CJ thinks 30 million. Fuck, dude, like this could be crazy. And imagine the women. Imagine the women where there was no, like, he was just like, well, it was what it was, and they went away, or they had equal to lose, or some bullshit, right? Like,
right.
Man, I don't know. I'm waiting for that one article to drop that says Vince gave away 1% of the damn WWE to a woman. I'm waiting on that to happen.
Summer Rae owns 2% of the WWE.
Hell to the no.
In breaking news, Eva Marie is now majority shareholder of WWE.
Imagine
that's how she got the return.
Man, that should be crazy.
It would explain a fucking lot if she hasn't.
Yeah.
It all turns out Hornswoggle was actually his illegitimate son, and he owns everything.
Right? That's why he kept him around. You can be the GM of Raw, son.
Right.
Damn. That'd be crazy as hell. Look, yeah,
that would be some shit Vince would write too, though.
I was just about to say, I'm about to start believing this shit because, Vince, man, he's a very dumb, creative guy.
Listen,
So
I will say this. I really hope one day we get like a Vince McMahon memoirs, like the true story of Vince McMahon. Like the
well,
we need the dark side of the ring of him then.
Well, that's going to be a whole season. That's Christ. That's a Netflix series or something. When you
but we were supposed to get one. We was actually supposed to get one, but they got this shit.
Has one, but they're very much like there's some damning stuff in this that's not going to look good at all.
Nah.
Yeah,
no. I do want to see because I do want to learn about the young Vince. I've seen, portions of him because of, young Rock, but I do want to see the young.
Can't be your reference point. The young Rock cannot be a historical reference point ever.
Why not?
That's the best shit I heard all day.
I'm serious.
This is my wrestling history.
This is my wrestling history.
It's like you learn about U.S. history from that 70s show.
I learned more about the United States from watching fucking YouTube and TV than I do in class.
That's probably
about the same bull
every single day. That's fairly accurate.
Man, it's the same stick every single day. I wish we had some more news though. But that was shocking to me though. Like when I got on, you probably see me in the backstage, like, what the fuck? Like they're back. Right. And I was like, I'm not mad.
I pulled this question up a couple times just because I'm curious what you guys think. Do you guys think Nick Khan was behind the outing of Like, was he the guy that was the catalyst behind it? I have a different theory, but
No,
I
I don't think so. At all
there's
because,
potential.
yeah.
I very much think that there is absolutely potential. This man, you've seen it from every move. It's almost feels like Nick Khan's name's been attached. So either they're all in on it, or he's the fucking point man on this whole operation, because he was filling in Steph's position. He was filling in that person's position. We've talked about it a couple times to where we feel like at times it almost looks like he's gearing up the company to try and sell it, with all of like the talent releases and everything. I think that there's very much a potential, especially he was leading the investigation. So there's very much a potential he could have been the one that leaked this whole information on Vince.
I don't want to go. I mean, I like exactly what you were saying. So I'm going to go 50-50 with it.
Mhm.
Nick Khan having something to do with it, yes. But at the same time, if Vince McMahon and Nick Khan became buddy, and Nick, he knew that Vince would listen to him more to make more money and stuff, why would you rat him out and then know that Stephanie and Hunter was going to come in and take over? Hunter doesn't want a 3-hour Raw; he wants a 2-hour Raw. So it's a
but
hard.
you move from being executive blah 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 to co-CEO.
Yeah, but I mean, but at first he kind of had Vince McMahon by his tail.
What if
he was
he may have been, like I said, this may have not been just him. This may have still been a Hunter.
I think it was Stephanie and Triple H.
I've called this from the get-go.
I think it was Stephanie and Triple H.
Yo,
like I said,
matter of fact,
I said that this whole thing was Game of Thrones. This was checkmate. This was now look at it. You have Steph and Nick Khan as co-CEOs.
I think it was Stephanie.
Hunter gets to do everything that he wants to. It's his wrestling playground now.
Since you want to say Stephanie,
all this shit.
She took a break. She stepped away. Yeah,
I think it was Shane McMahon then.
Shane fucked him. Oh, so you dad.
John Cena, the whole situation, the forgotten son, the one that was exiled.
Right.
There you go. No, I mean, to answer that question fully, I don't think that Nick Khan I'm 50-50 with it, because it's like Vince was releasing talent back to back. They made the most money with Vince McMahon. And so now, I mean, did Nick Khan have a change of heart? I'm like, oh yeah, this shit really sucks. We need to get Hunter in here. Let's do this way instead. But I don't know.
Sometimes you got to go along to get along.
That's true. I mean, do you think that he would have made? I think Nick Khan would have been able to make more money under Vince McMahon than he will with Triple H. Your fucking face, bro.
Here's part of my theory, and what my fears or curiosities is. I could 100% see Vince McMahon standing in the way of a sale. Like if they're trying to sell this to something.
Oh, you're saying sell the company?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
If he was in the way, if he was like, fuck no, I don't want to sell this. And maybe he was purposely making the product suck because he didn't want it to sell. I don't fucking know.
Damn.
You're
talking about Vince did?
Yeah, like it's like I'm just gonna make it shit. Nobody will want to buy it.
It's my product and I'll kill it if I want to.
Man, it's been shit before.
But no, I think that you remember Steph took that little hiatus. Like she left and I think she was sitting at home plotting and fucking. You gave my husband a heart attack.
I think it's ever since they dismantled everything Hunter did in NXT, he's just coming back for everything they took for him and more. They took from him and more. And
from the reports we read, it was talked about how the not a paralegal. How she was like open about her relationship with Vince, and she was literally told by her superior, whoever that was, to stop talking about Vince so much because it's making people uncomfortable. So she's wandering around the fucking office just like a ditz, telling everybody how great Vince is and how much she loves him, and so
Vince was still living in the 30s and 40s and 50s. Vince was still living in that bygone dinosaur era.
It's so fucking weird though, right? Like,
absolutely. But a thing that I like hearing about now with this whole change of power is you're hearing nothing but the locker room supporting it, and the locker room is behind it. And if you have you heard for the longest time of the morale in the locker room so low, especially after this release and that release, and now you're hearing nothing but the locker room singing praises of the new regime. So if the locker room's behind it and you have the guys at the top behind it, we're in for a hell of a ride. So buckle up, folks.
And listen, that's where you're seeing this influx of, like, Karrion Kross comes back, Dexter comes back. I think he's going to do something with Sammy. KO's clearly got a different attitude.
Oh, did you hear that too? That Kevin and Sammy, they are apparently supposed to be tagging back again, and they're going to take on the Usos.
That's interesting.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm down. But
I'm here for KO versus Roman again.
Nice. Yeah. I feel like KO got the short end of the stick. Not that he lost to Roman, but how they kind of beat him and then just swept him under the rug and they buried him.
Well, and the botch didn't help. That the fucking
the
handcuff that cannot be unlocked.
All right. CJ, you said you might have some other news.
Oh no, that was it. I'm just looking, on Twitter, just scrolling. Yeah, there's nothing else. Today, watch tomorrow. Every fucking thing is going to drop.
That's what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, we were just saying that.
Now that we said that it's been a halfway quiet week in wrestling, just something chaotic is going to happen. Like literally, once we get off this stream.
Yep. So let me ask you this before we move on. Oh, we got another topic right there. Let me ask you this: who is Bray Wyatt going to pretty much solidify? That Triple H is truly running the WWE if he does resign, or is there another name?
Yes.
You don't think there's any other name?
Not even debatable.
So
actually, correction. The only other name that I would say is on par with that is Sasha and Naomi, or especially Sasha.
Okay, let me ask you this too. Then, do you guys really think that Naomi really quit the WWE? Because I don't. I think she's always been. I think that this is a big ass storyline. I really do.
This was not an angle.
I think Naomi's portion was not Sasha's. Naomi though.
No, I think she tagged along. I think this is her.
I just can't see that Naomi isn't even a big name. Like she
that's the thing. Naomi's not dumb. I'll give her credit
because if she would have capitalized on this a bit more, she could have raised her stock, and she just kind of hasn't. I think just to play ball.
No, I think she has
because her husband's already had DWI issues.
But
and with Roman. Well, no, I'm saying she's got to play ball with the top dog right now in the company. She's got to play ball. She's planning to go back. Sasha's the big pull to get back over there.
But what if Sasha bullshits?
Sorry, CJ. I just think it was a good move for her because if she walks out by herself and tries to negotiate a better deal or more creative control or blah, 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 it's Naomi. She got not much to stand on, no offense, other than she does have some ties, but at the same time, you're in a tough spot. Now, when you leave with everyone's talked about Naomi, Sasha. I think it would have been a little quieter if it was just Naomi. So this is her chance.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that.
It would have been just like MJF, basically. Nobody's talking about MJF at all. Legit. Nobody's talking about that.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, I just feel like she should have used this to build herself up a bit more. Like if she would have been a bit more vocal about it, but it's like I said, she does have ties to right now the top act in the company. Whether you view that as one way or the other, I think that she's still using that as an easy, quick way back in of depending on if this doesn't work outright. Sasha can still go wherever, and like you were saying of how Naomi, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it was just her. That Sasha, if it was just her, she could still go wherever, and be a instant draw.
Yeah.
So I think Sasha coming back is on par with if Bray came back of Vince no longer has any sort of real say in what happens day to day.
I think the only thing that Vince really has say in WWE is when it comes down to the actual internal business, like the finance portions and stuff like that. Like the big company votes.
The man dealing out hush money's in charge of finances. I don't know about that.
No. He still, but the whole thing is he still owns 80% of the company, so he has a say. Like if you go buy a stock right now,
say yay or nay,
right? Because he's still. I think, and this is what I want to know. Since he does have 80% of the company, is he still a member of the board? I don't know if he is on the board.
He might be a silent member.
You said what now, Nick?
He might be a silent member.
That's what I'm thinking, and I hope that they didn't screw him. Like, because I don't know if you guys ever read about the whole Apple situation before. They had hella CEOs, and people on the board were able to vote that CEO off, but Vince stepped down. So I still want to know, is he a member of the board though? Because if that's the case, then he's going to have a say.
No, but they're both suspended as of right now, right? And that's,
okay.
That's what I was trying to say. Where He had to step off the board, so he doesn't have a position on the board. He still has stocks and shares and has a vote technically, but I do believe Floyd is accurate in saying that as of right now, at least, he doesn't have a vote because he's under investigation.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, like I said, I think he's going to end up just being more of a silent member. He might just sit there and just be on some beach in fucking Maui collecting a paycheck, then he doesn't have to pay hush money to paralegals pretending to be paralegals.
It's funny as shit.
But yeah, I think the days of Vince and especially Johnny Ace, Vince and the good old boys, that whole gang is done. I think so. Kevin Dunn's still there just because they're waiting to get someone in that can just push him aside and just make one giant shift. And Bruce, I think he's just greased enough palms that he's willing to take a lower position and just be part of the creative team.
Wait, who, Brucey?
Yeah,
I think Bruce is running. I don't think Bruce is on the main roster anymore. I think he's strictly with NXT temporarily. Well, I think that Hunter's plan is to there you go, right there, just fucking water boy of the team. I think that because we all know for a fact that Hunter has not touched NXT at all. I think we know that for sure. And I'm happy that he's not touching NXT because we need Raw and SmackDown to be, not completely fixed, but we need that shit to be revamped first. Then he can say, okay, cool, I got this. I'm gonna hire Paul Heyman. Paul, I need you to take my pointers, these pointers I left behind for everybody, and keep developing it for me. I'm gonna work on NXT because NXT probably won't even take that, that long. You still got what's his name, HBK down there, so maybe bring in Billy. I mean, what's the guy named Road Dogg? Maybe bring him back in and help.
Oh, the guy that's been begging Tony for a job.
He's been begging both companies for a job. It don't matter what you gonna do, Nick. If you have all this experience,
I'm not trying to fully take shots at Road Dogg. I was
what you gonna do?
Because trust me, I can still break out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, all that. But no, I think he would be good. Like, that's the thing is too, where we might even see, and he's a peripheral click member, so we might still see getting guys like Kevin Nash all of a sudden helping out guys in NXT. We already saw HBK might be the kind of main guy running NXT with Taker kind of helping out the bigger guys.
Oh, you said Taker is helping too?
I think Taker's helping out the bigger guys, or I've at least seen that awesome. At times.
That's
where
dope,
like
man.
The guys like Omos, Veer, I think even with like Keith and all of that before he was released. Well, you saw even on like the last ride to where there would be times to where he would pop into NXT and just go over them of like, this is what you could do here, and that's why.
Oh, see, I never watched that one at all. But you know what? This is. Let me bring this up because you bring up big guys. It's gonna be like a little small touch on AEW, but really WB guys. Big Show left WWE because he said he wanted to do more in a company. His big ass left just to do the same thing for another company. We haven't seen Big Show on TV and God knows how long.
Well, the man's turned heel and face more times than a doorknob. He's got more turns than a doorknob. So I'm not surprised that he would jump. This man's trying to just, get another patch in like his, Boy Scout like merit badge thing of like, I've been in WCW, I've been in ECW, I've been in WWE, I've been in AEW. This man just seems like he's just trying to go to any company and every company. Like I've literally, there's been plenty of times I forgot that he was in AEW because he's at most commentary now and then on Dark Elevation. Mark Henry's got a more prominent spot significantly than Paul White. But did you hear that he might be trying to bring back Captain Insano from the Waterboy? That we might actually get another Big Show match still.
Hopefully so, because I just didn't like that. Same with Mark Henry. They both pretty much said they were going to leave and go do more over at the.
Well, Mark wasn't doing anything in WWE except for just getting yelled at by Randy Orton.
What is he doing on
AEW?
It's time
for the main event.
So you telling me he really going to?
That's still more than Big Show's doing. That's still more than one.
Out of here, bro.
One is more than nothing. And
then wasn't Big Show and Mark Henry were supposed to be color commentators? What the hell happened to that? What happened to that?
Taz happened. Oh, Taz is just hilarious.
It's completely insane. It's weird as hell. But I'm gonna touch on some of these comments. I don't even know where the hell we at, but I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not going back up there. Y'all just gonna have to bring in some more comments.
From the bottom and work our way up.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I don't know what the hell. No, we can't even start from the bottom because this motherfucker talking about true. What the hell is true? Nah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. All right, I think we was somewhere right here, pretty much. Dro David says his birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday,
Yes,
sir.
happy early birthday.
Make sure you
no
tune
free
in
shout out.
tomorrow, man. Let's see. Think of what Austin Theory got from Vince, a name shortage.
Well, and now he's getting the Vince beaten out of him. That's what's happening. That's what he got from Vince. He got a little bit of a spot because he stole an egg that made no sense, and now
really
literally half the SmackDown roster got their shot on him on one show, and now they're just literally jobbing him out week in and week out just until you forget that Vince was his guy.
Yep. The fuck? Oh, I love the
Batman's back.
Batman's back. What's up, Pink Ranger? How you doing? Welcome to today's show. Let's see, Dro, you talking all fuck shit, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't clicking on your comments anymore, dude. That is this. Okay. What's up, Boss Monster? How y'all doing today? Everybody in the crowd chatting with each other. That's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Are we going to be streaming the launch party? Oh, that is today, huh?
That's tonight. Yeah, we
What
most likely
time is it?
we'll probably
That's
be
still
off
got a
by
couple
then.
hours for me.
Yeah,
Wait, how long is it?
It's at 10 p.m. But yeah, I mean, we
wait, 10 p.m. who time?
It would be
Our
9 p.m.
time.
your time.
Oh,
So
okay.
9 p.m. your time.
Oh, that sucks because in California it's going to be like what 8 o'clock there.
But no, that's cool that you're going to it. But yeah,
no, it's
that's
awesome.
a little late for my blood.
Yeah, I mean, it's we'll talk about it on our streams, but I mean, talking about people talking is not really the most exciting time. So we probably won't.
It's hard when you talk a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
people
we won't
who
pay
talk
attention
a
to
lot.
shit they say.
Right.
But that being said, folks, I will take a moment right now to tell everybody, if you're just tuning in, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is Let's Rumble. We're having a lot of fun doing it. We're rolling through. Do keep in mind we have our t-shirt with all T's still kicking around, but more than that, we have a triple header Friday coming your way tomorrow. SmackDown, Emergence, and Rampage, all three. Lots of matches, lots of shit happening, lots to talk about. And we will be back again Saturday for a doubleheader. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Doubleheader. We're going to do GCW Homecoming. Moxley defends against Effie. And then we have, what do we have? XPW, Night of Reckoning. The main event there is a triple threat match for the title. Brian Cage, help me out here.
Brian Cage versus Masada versus Willie Mack. We're also getting
the guy blanked off.
Taya Valkyrie on there. We're also getting a King of the Death matches title Falls Count Anywhere match between Slack and Necro Butcher. So, like I said, if you like
what is his name?
Slack and Necro Butcher.
Necro Butcher. What the fuck is that? Who comes up
Death
with these
Butcher.
names?
That's what that would be. That name.
Oh, brother.
So, yes. If you like the blood, guts, and gore, you like the extreme, to quote Mr. Heyman, of professional wrestling, Saturday night is going to get even crazier than it normally does because it's pretty much a hardcore night on the stream. And yes, folks, as you can see in that lovely little corner down there, we are the ultimate channel when it comes to wrestling content, and we worked out a nice little deal for you folks and everything. So y'all can go and see some professional wrestling and all that, and hook y'all up if you're going to see a concert, anything like that. The fine folks at SeatGeek hooked us up with a nice little code. So if you use Wrasslin, and it will save you $20 on your first purchase on SeatGeek.com. And maybe you can even use that $20 to get yourself one of our t-shirts or whatever. I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but yes. So if you use code Wrasslin, whether you're going to a concert, going to check yourself, like CJ buying tickets for WrestleMania next year after he already went to WrestleMania last year, went to Road Rager. KJ looking at tickets for, when AEW goes to Toronto. Use code Wrasslin just right. What? Use code Wrasslin just like it's spelled on the channel, folks. Save yourself $20.
Save yourself $20, or y'all can put the $20 in my pocket. Thank you. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we're gonna make it work. Damn, I just smacked myself in the mouth with a damn microphone. How
you're
do I
not supposed
feel?
to eat the microphone, dude.
Man.
That's what you get.
Let's see.
All right, what's next
for AEW? What you talking about, Ricky?
Taz does commentary for. You touched on Taz. Sorry. Taz is
Look, that's
excellent.
my duh.
To me, Team Taz and Taz himself are one of the biggest disappointments in the duration of AEW. I was such a big fan of Taz. I'm such a big fan of
Damn.
well, no, not them personally, but how they've been booked. Starks is wicked. Hobbs has come a long way. Hook has got himself over huge.
Hook's the FTW champion.
Sorry?
I said Hook's the FTW champion.
Yes.
What
Following in Daddy's footsteps.
Right? So for me, I think they could have done so much more with Team Taz, and they just dropped the ball a little bit. So I'm not thrilled to see them breaking up already. I don't feel like they accomplished anything. I think they went under more times than they went over.
So what more do you want to see?
When I hear
from
Taz,
them?
though, sorry, go ahead, CJ.
No, what more do you want to see from them?
I would have liked to like a solid TNT run. I would have liked to see them, kind of be dominant and kick the shit out of some people. I mean, generally the beefs they ended up in, they lost. And I mean, even when Taz was going after CM Punk, remember they had the screaming match the one night, and then he beat Hobbs, and that was the end of it, really. And
Screaming match?
Well, they were yelling at each other.
They were yelling back and forth, not an actual match. But no, I feel
some company would do that.
Yeah.
Hey, if any company would do it, I would really expect GCW, Impact, or either fucking AEW to do some stupid shit like that. So,
but I feel like Team Taz may have just really reached its kind of potential. It brought Hook up, it brought Hobbs up, it brought Starks up. I mean, it bumbled Brian Cage, but I think Brian Cage bumbled himself. So I feel like it kind of just reached its kind of plateau with the whole thing of it's hard to really take Taz as a badass when you go and turn on like Dark or something and he's Destination singing Ruby's theme song.
He's singing on the shit.
Right, and just goofing off. It's kind of hard to take that guy as a badass.
I mean, I like that it gets goofy.
I love Taz as that. I love Taz as a commentator.
Really, guys can get
even going back to when he was on SmackDown with Michael Cole. But I think it was a good vehicle to get those guys kind of over initially, and now it's going to be interesting to see where Ricky goes, where Hobbs goes, where Hook goes. I think Hook kind of carries on that lineage the most, obviously. But I think Ricky puts himself up in the main event picture, and I think Hobbs versus Wardlow, absolutely sign me up for that. Give me that on a pay-per-view, please.
Just a couple names saying hello to the Stone Cold Steve Austin's in the house. What? Robert Dankins is back. I predict that All Out will be better than SummerSlam.
Well, we will have to see, but I will take your bet on that, sir.
Wait, what happened?
Well,
he thinks that All Out will be better than how SummerSlam was.
Well, here's a better question, though. Can I revamp that question slightly?
Go ahead.
Being that they're the same fucking weekend, All Out, Clash of the Castle. What's going to impress us more?
Clash of the Castle.
Ooh.
Easily. It's a stadium show.
I will take All Out.
I like it.
I think I only reason why I say Clash of the Castle just for the simple fact that we're in the UK. Their crowd is going to be way much better than Chicago's. I was going to go to All Out too, but fuck that. I don't even want to go.
I take it. I take All Out on the fact that I feel like that's a little bit almost like it's very much one of AEW's huge pay-per-views, almost their kind of WrestleMania to an extent.
Some other company that can't get out of Chicago.
Yeah. Well, they just brought Chicago's favorite son back, so but still,
I cannot wait to touch
I worry with the UK crowd.
What?
I still just worry because they're
90,000 people in a goddamn castle.
Right, but I worry about what matches they're going to get.
Triple H, damn
it! Yeah, I mean, we're already
right, but he's still having to work with Vince's scraps, though. Yeah,
he don't. No, he don't.
Not by then.
What
Roman versus Drew.
Was he writing the show with a fucking crayon?
How do you know we're doing Roman? Well, Roman versus Drew isn't even a scrap. That's going to be a good match. Now, the whole thing is Triple H. If Triple H was in charge of WWE and we got all the shit we got from Vince McMahon, I guarantee you the product would have been better. Why? Because Vince was booking shit off of gimmicks. Triple H is booking shit off of how people can actually wrestle. If you seen a big difference on last week Friday when we had Ricochet. Ricochet was already fighting on SmackDown sometimes, but we seen a different Ricochet when Triple H had him. He's saying take your ass out there, show me your indie style, or show me no NXT Ricochet. Boom, we got that. If Vince McMahon was able to do that, I wouldn't be complaining about anything that we've seen back in the day at all. That shit would have been,
does it
cool.
feel like WWE's taking this as a serious show?
Yeah, hell yeah. It's 90,000 people in the UK.
But I'm saying, are they really like trying to make this like how they did with SummerSlam and everything? I feel like
this is the first like real run out of pay-per-view that Triple H is getting. I mean, it was a fucking quick pivot and spin where you said he was dealing with a lot of garbage that was left behind and things he had to clean up.
I think SummerSlam was a finale of the Vince McMahon shit. Now I get what you, I do get what you're saying, Nick, for sure. That what he's saying is like basically, I mean, Vince already had shit planned out, and it's going to be hard for Hunter to like eradicate that shit. But to a certain extent, I'll agree with it, but then I'll disagree with it. And the reason why I'm gonna disagree with it because we seen what Hunter did with Seth Rollins and Rick and Riddle. He just said, "Fuck it, y'all not doing this shit," you know, on my paper, you know, for SummerSlam. He just ain't doing that shit. So, I mean, I think that we'll have time. I think we'll have time.
I feel like though AEW is gonna if AEW is gonna if Tony Khan's gonna keep breaking the bank and everything like that and try and pull a rabbit out of their ass and everything.
What the fuck was that, KJ?
I'm gonna just talk right through it. AEW is gonna do that at All Out because, like I said, that feels very much like one of the
10,000 people versus 90,000 people.
Yeah,
you got. Ooh, only way that shit right there will have a little bit of excitement is only if Kenny Omega was to come back. And
I feel like
he's coming back, but they're burying him in a trios fucking tournament.
That's fine. When Kenny Omega comes back, we're gonna AEW will hit 1 million. Honestly. CM Punk came back, they did 972 views.
Oh, really? Now, how does that stack up?
They cleared 1 million on Punk's return. Or you mean last night?
Initial return or last night?
Last night.
Yes.
That's what I was about to say. Now, it might almost be the law of diminishing returns.
Maybe next week if they advertise he's going to be there, maybe they'll reach 1 million. If they reach 1 million on his second return, then I'll say, okay, cool, you know, we're there. But AEW is slowly they're creaking to 1 million, you know, each and every night. But they're almost there, but they're not. I think Kenny Omega is going to be the official guy that's going to be like, okay, I'm going to give y'all 1 million in a couple shows because now you will have all your guys back.
I could see that. But now,
I want to know if he moves the needle enough.
Me too, for sure. I really do.
Oh, it's going to be a litmus test for sure. Mm-hmm. But I want to know with Tony kind of hinting at, you know, the Quake at the Lake, you know, being, you know, something you don't want to miss, which Tony, by the way, you can talk to me. I'll help you with your promos because your rap game and all of that, your right
he
game.
Rap. Oh, I thought he rapped.
Yeah, no, his little promo, his little tweet, he tried to make it rhyme and everything. I can do it way better. I can help you out, Tony. But no, did you guys think it was going to be CM Punk or did you think it might have been somebody else?
I knew it was
going to be MJF.
I watched the last minute because I got home like about 20 minutes afterwards. I looked at the time clock and I said, this match, I think the match ended at about 5 to 6 minutes before end of the show. When I seen that shit, I seen all the teams come out. Bucks wasn't there. Kenny Omega had no reason to come out. I said, oh, CM Punk is going to be here. Boom. Was I excited to see CM Punk? No. I called that shit literally the match ending. I said in my head, bro, if this show ends before 9 o'clock, this fuck boy is gonna come back. And
a lot of people thought it might be MJF.
That I was hoping at that because
really?
you saw people just trying to, you know, reach and just make that connection.
I think MJF is done.
I'm desperate. You guys are feeding for the Fiend to come back. I'm feeding for MJF to come back.
I'm feeding for MJF to come back too. But the whole thing is this: Tony done buried that guy like legit. Like there's no sort you can't find the fuck guy no more. I mean, maybe I don't think that he's coming back at All Out, but maybe after All Out, maybe after whenever Punk beats Moxley, then we'll probably get MJF. I think that's possible, but if Tony Khan doesn't pull the trigger on MJF soon, don't bring him back at all. Let that motherfucker go. There's no point for you to bring him back.
All Out? Is it possible All Out? You imagine Punk's going to go over Moxley,
and
they're celebrating, and that's where MJF comes back.
If there's the time to do it, if he's going to come back, that's when you do it.
And if you don't do it on that show, you got until Wednesday. If you don't do it Wednesday, don't bring him back at all. Let him go. Because you don't have any, you have no other reason
know
to
what
bring
to
the
do
guy
with him.
back. That's what I'm saying. You have nothing else for him. He has when MJF comes back, he has to be the world champion. He has no other choice but to be world champ. Because if you bring him back, you give him TNT.
Or does he come back as, I guess, somehow, some way, almost like that Stone Cold Steve Austin of, because that promo was very much, yes, it was anti-AEW, but it was also very much at Tony, I feel. Of if he goes at it that way of just, I'm here just to fuck shit up.
I don't know, because Tony doesn't even want to be, Tony Khan doesn't even want to be on TV. So that's it. It's
Tony
just
Khan
hard for me to
should be on TV.
No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. That little scrawny ass dude. He needs to be playing the Bruce Pritchard role. Sit your ass in the back.
Yeah, and just call your shots.
Yeah, don't even show.
Give out your hug, buddy.
He doesn't look like he owns that company at all. Tony Schiavone looks more of the goddamn owner than he does. Like, damn. Tony Khan looks like a little
Jim
ass
Ross
kid.
Looks like the owner.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll give you that one.
Oh,
wait, have you guys seen Tony Khan's fucking dad?
Yeah.
I want to know
Shot
if he's doing anything. Yeah, his
Shot
dad
Khan's a
like
G though.
Yeah,
I love the mustache, everything. Shot Khan's
no, he's got some swag.
Think about he has that type of money that he just gave it to Tony of just, here, son, go have fun with it. I'm not gonna live long enough to use it all. Go have fun. And that's what Tony's doing. He's just playing with action figures.
But his rationale was kind of cool in the sense of, I'm gonna leave you in, you're gonna inherit a whole shit ton of money when I croak.
Right.
I think I'd rather see you enjoy that money now.
Right, while I'm alive.
Not bad. People assume it's infinite. I don't know how infinite it is. Maybe Daddy said, this is the money you get. I don't have any more for you. We don't know that.
Tony Khan is new money.
I doubt that because of that video game. I doubt it because of that video game he got. $4 million on the shit game. I think that shit infinite. It's for the simple we got that bullcrap game. That game looks a goddamn mess.
That a second, actually. But the video game, I mean, it's been mixed reviews for sure.
Minimum. Shit, a video game. That goddamn is a toy. Big ass a digital toy that you guys can play on the Xbox.
A few people have been asking in the chat about this. Now that we're on the Punk topic and we talked about Mox, my vote was kind of the fact, like, I really thought, all right, give me Punk MJF. I don't know how I feel about Mox and Punk. But I think the argument here is it's probably your two biggest names as far as name value goes in the industry. Now they're going head to head, and they both have belts on their shoulder.
But how long was Punk gone? Like a month? So did you really need to have an interim title if he was only going to be gone that short amount of time? You could have just honestly done something like have a tournament to be the new number one contender for him. Because I feel like now this has just come across so.
Well, technically, it was a number one contender.
Right.
Yeah, right. But that Mox was number one. That was number one. That was already signed into there already. Mm-hmm. Like I guess I don't like seeing guys like Eddie Kingston, who should have been competing for a world title, now go from that being one of the most talked about guys in that company to now he's feuding with Jericho to now he's feuding with Sammy. So he went from going for the title, or should have been going for the title, to feuding with upper mid card to now feuding with upper mid card's underboss. Like you're seeing people just kind of slide back because they're just ham fisting this in here, because it's like one of those they couldn't do. How many times has Roman been on TV versus in the time that, say, Punk's been gone? I feel like not a whole lot. So you could have gotten away with.
Damn, how long has Punk been gone? Well, has it really only been a month?
Long.
I think about like a good 2 months. I think so.
But even then, you could have gotten by without having your world champ have a match. I mean, his throat's not broken. He could still cut a promo even if he's hurt.
Who, Punk? You know they only brought him back because of one reason.
Right, but that's the thing. You didn't need to have the.
What if the rumor is he's not 100%? They just threw him out there to.
No, he's not 100%.
So
I think that he's
not building.
They needed somebody for Forbidden Door. They needed a title match at Forbidden Door. They couldn't have it with Punk.
No, that's all that is. I think all of that is halfway correct. They only brought this guy back because of WWE.
Yeah.
why else would you bring CM Punk, somebody that's injured, back so early?
Oh, I'm not.
I can bring him. I don't even need CM Punk to come on TV because the match was already settled. Everything was already in line. Tony Khan said, "Oh, we're gonna have an interim world championship match. Whoever wins, they're gonna face CM Punk whenever he gets healthy. Healthy." I could have brought him back a week before All Out, and boom, that's all we needed. Why would you bring him back yesterday? And then now you have to expect CM Punk to be on TV yesterday, next Wednesday, all the way up to fucking September.
But that's the thing. You don't need to do that. If they could have gotten away with not doing that if they had never done that whole interim belt. Like I said, I think that they, just because Forbidden Door was around, that was right after
I think
got hurt, so they needed a title match for Forbidden Door with AW because they had already had Tanahashi here. But you could have made that just a #1 contenders match or something, for fuck's sake. And you could have still had Stone Cold Steve Austin was cutting promos on WCW in ECW while he was injured for months. Punk could have sat there and done that, and we know he's got a gift of gab. That's clearly like what people even said. That's why they signed him.
My bad, I had to laugh at that one. I can't wait for this fucker to retire.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry, bro, but CM Punk is not all that at all. We've seen it already. This guy, you win the strap, and your ass, you come back out and fight, and you fighting like you fucking Mick Foley and shit. Like Mick Foley can't go in the ring. Punk, you could not go. You need to go away. That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep.
Because the man just have terrible luck. Because every time it's supposed to be the summer of Punk, that summer of Punk gets derailed right out of the gate.
Right.
I'm just saying, bro. CM Punk shouldn't have been champion. I would have liked to see more of him. That he shouldn't even been undefeated at all. He shouldn't. He got 1 loss. His ass should have had 10 L's on his name. He should have been built up better. I don't fuck that name stuff. That just shows that favoritism really does exist in wrestling companies. I mean, if I'm Tony Khan, I bring Hulk Hogan back and he's good, I'm going to give Hulk Hogan my strap. Why? Because I'm favoring Hulk Hogan. The crowd is favoring Hulk Hogan. Fuck that. What's up with the true work? You book CM Punk just to win the goddamn belt. Bring him back the day after he fucking wins the belt. He's in the tag match. Now his dumbass and broke his fucking foot. On which show? I don't fucking know. Now his ass went away. Now you got Moxley being the champion. Now you got Moxley on TV bleeding 24/7. Now we're gonna have a fucking blood for blood match at All Out for Moxley CM Punk. I don't want to see
people want to complain that Roman's not on TV enough.
Right.
Now, what if Roman went down with an injury right now? Where would have WWE been at if Papa Paul hadn't taken over? No one would be tuning in if Roman was out and they had to do some little interim belt and everything like AEW had to do. So very much to your point, especially Punk being an older guy who's had a 7-year layoff, and he's supposed to be your champ, it makes him more of a special attraction if he's not sitting there just having a fucking death match every week.
I know. It just, like I said, I would have liked to see him in AEW for at least a year first without having the strap.
Oh, you thought that they should have done that long before they gave him the belt?
Yeah, I say that only for the super fact. No, but KJ, they fucked up by giving him the strap. Look. I don't have to. I don't even have to.
No, they fucked up by giving him the strap when everyone was met on him. They fucked up by letting him cool off.
What happened to him? Did he just get injured?
Yeah.
Okay, that proves my goddamn point. No, it doesn't matter. That fucker, regardless title or not, he would have got injured no matter what. He's not 100%. He's not. Look at him. He's not 100%. Not even discriminating against the way he looked. You've been away for 7 years. I need you to be in my ring for a year straight. Show me that you actually work. Yes, you have to show me that you can go.
No, because he comes in with dude, imagine John Cena or The Rock. Pick someone says, you know what? I'm deciding I'm going to come back to wrestling full time. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break from movies. You got me for the next long. You're not going to make him wait a year, right? And
Daniel Bryan did.
To what?
Daniel Bryan did.
Daniel Bryan, that's because they treated Daniel Bryan different. Look at what they did with Roman. Show up and win. Look what they do with Goldberg. Oh, Bray Wyatt, fuck your title run.
Goldberg comes in, wins, leaves.
It's bullshit.
But and I'm gonna say, I don't think that you can really compare those two. It's because it's a part-time. It's really a special contract versus a full-timer. I think for me. I don't know.
See, for me, I'm right in the middle of you two.
I just think that the year would have been
literally
okay.
and figuratively, I'm right in the middle of you two of that. I wouldn't wait a whole year, but I also wouldn't have completely hot-shotted it. Of like you said, CJ, he was he had a 7-year layoff. And he was still feeling himself out. I know KJ can already hear you. Well, you shouldn't have brought him back then if he wasn't ready.
Yeah,
right.
But that's what I'm at with it.
But that's the thing that was still that was AEW doing what WWE's doing now, though. That's the thing. Right now, WWE's outdoing AEW at their own game of bringing people back, bringing surprises back, having big debuts and everything. That's was kind of funny. That was a shot across the bow from AEW at WWE of, hey, we got CM Punk and we finally pulled him back. There's been CM Punk chants for 7 years plus now. But I still think he needed to he needed just for himself to show that he could still go. That's why you got all those matches that were almost tributes to Bret Hart. They pretty much were.
Wait, who you talking about?
Move
Punk?
by move, Bret Hart. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. I know people in the chat gonna definitely disagree, and some other guy gonna definitely disagree with me.
What?
JPM. But no, not me, KJ. I'll call it a shots. That goddamn dude that says some crazy stuff, But no. I'm just saying, maybe a year is a stretch. Maybe he could have been there for 6-7 months.
Dude.
If I can do 30 matches within that time frame. And I think that it's possible.
That's what they kind of did. It was way too many matches.
I think they did it at the right time. They pissed off a bad champ because Hangman had nothing to work off of once he had that feud end with Kenny.
That's why it would have been even better. Hangman was a dud of a champ.
If he had taken if Punk had taken that belt off of Kenny versus Hangman, this would be a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I think that's even more reason. You come in and you beat a fucking champ that people aren't really bought into anyway, and you just it doesn't matter. He won the world championship. To me, when you told everybody, when it leaked out that Punk's going to be back, and everybody tuned in that return night, and Chicago was going fucking banana sandwich, and sure enough, the fucking music hits, and there's fucking people crying, they're fucking rolling around, people praising the Lord. It was chaos, and you watch that CM Punk victory lap where he just went around and shaking everyone's hand for a few weeks and saying all the lovely stuff. But you had so many people tuned in. You had more people tuning in than ever before to watch your show. That's where you have a chance to put Punk in the ring with a Page and have somebody who doesn't know who Adam Page is go, holy shit, look at this match. And if he goes over, now you got eyes. Now all the press, holy shit, Punk came back after 7 years, and 1 month in, at the first chance he got, he's now at the top of the heap. Now you get to see if he can hold on to that belt. To me, that capitalizes on the eyeballs that you had. Instead, you put him in fucking matches with dark AEW dark guys that everyone lost interest. And by the time he won the belt, people were like, oh, okay.
I get with what you're saying of, on one hand, they almost went too far with him facing like Lee Moriarty and shit like that. No offense, Lee. Love you. But I feel like if they would have played him versus Hangman right out of the gate, it would have been hot shotting it a little bit too quick. But it would have been that doesn't work with an AEW audience. So an AEW audience is very different.
No,
I don't think it. Well,
yeah, fair enough.
It's a little. You keep kind of halfway selling me there, but it's one of those of just. I think it's just Punk is one of those of he's such a strange damn bird. Like the man wanted to go and do a UFC and got his ass whooped for 3 fights, but still thought he could fucking fight. I think the man just doesn't kind of get what's going on. Right. So I feel like Tony just did, well, this is what he's telling me he wants, so I'll give it to him. Tony being too nice for his own good and not doing what's best for his product.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely the case in the sense of I really think you got to capitalize. You brought, like I said, Karrion Kross back and you put him in a fucking feud with Gable. Doesn't make sense. Right? When you bring him back, you made a fucking splash. He lays out the number one contender, stares down the champion. You're like, oh, shit. And if you slow play it, I think it's a bad move. So I know we've debated this a few times, but Punk, by the time Punk got the belt, everyone was kind of like, meh. Okay.
Still,
I think you have an opportunity sometimes to really push the needle. And
the only opportunity that Punk and AEW has is to do this. Like, Punk needs to retain the title.
Yep.
Kenny Omega needs to face Punk, or either you need to put him in another package. You need to have Jericho get a rematch and face Punk, or simply get MJF. No, the only reason I'm always going to push. I'm always going to push. My option number 2 is Chris Jericho.
Oh no! Well, no. Well, then I'm with.
You see me stop dead? Like, wait,
right?
I thought it was number 2. You just kept throwing out names.
The only reason why I push for Jericho is for the simple fact that they've always been beefing about who's the best in the world. This will be a perfect time to really kill that whole entire legacy to figure out who's truly the best in the world. Why not have Chris Jericho, the GOAT or whatever, and go against Punk for the belt? Yeah, Jericho isn't going to win. Let CM Punk go over and call it a day. Now we're done with that rivalry. That shit is long term.
Chris Jericho's hot dog skin looking ass on TV. This man he constantly thinks he's become the Hulk Hogan of 2022 of just no matter what. He was always greatest. He always predicted it ahead of time. He always knew this. He always knew that. Just he's so out the fucking pasture being delusional. It's insane to me. But no, for me, if you have Punk go over, and then like you've said before, if you have MJF come out of the crowd and he just attacks Punk, and you get almost that Punk's the old guard that rebelled against the company and everything, versus MJF, who's the new guard rebelling against the company.
Sean says AEW got to stop with the old WWE feuds. They actually can't.
Gotta get with half your answers, old WWE guys.
Yeah, they can't. They can't stop with the feuds. They can't stop. The whole thing is this: nobody is going to be able to. Triple H is actually the only person I believe that can start new history. And the only reason why I say this is because Tony we've already seen AEW pretty much do the same stick multiple times. We've seen stuff that we've seen in the old days of WWE, WWF, and WCW already happen on AEW. So, and it's nothing wrong with that. Just for the simple fact that we got a fucking fan running a big, indie show or whatever. That's the whole thing about that. So it's going to be hard for Tony to really get off of doing the WWE feuds until he has fully exhausted it, or either until he gets somebody that never worked for WWE or really doesn't know shit about WWE.
Right. AEW fans have better taste.
Definitely disagree with that. You tell me you got taste in AEW Dark. AEW Dark Elevation.
Even the main show.
I said it before.
That's really true.
To me, the funniest thing though is, like I've said, is nothing with AEW specifically has changed. It's the entire landscape around AEW has changed, and like WWE is now doing AEW better than AEW.
I mean, it just AEW. They found their lane. And it ain't broken, so why would you fix it? That's everybody's favorite thing. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I mean, AEW technically it isn't broken. They're in a zone where they're comfortable. They're making the money that they know that they can really trust. And like how you were saying with Chicago, we go to Chicago, we trust their fans. Hey, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing I do. They're not willing to take that risk yet, and a part of me thinks that's what Cody was really wanting to do, was take that extra leap into a different atmosphere. He didn't, not saying that he wanted to leave AEW for WWE, but he wanted to take AEW on a different pathway, or either a pathway that was going to be a 50-50 with them.
Well,
and that's why I think they were scared possibly for that.
AEW fans, diehard AEW fans, I should say, can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like AEW's always kind of tried to be one of those that views itself on par as the guy chasing down WWE, but now that Papa Paul woke up and realized that he can actually, use his weight when it comes to bringing back people and running the company, that now it's, we just don't want competition. Well, it's just an alternative and everything. And now it's a little backpedaling. It's a little tone deaf press release from Tony Khan. It's a little tone deaf, Twitter shit from the Young Bucks, stuff like that. It's just it feels like they've always wanted to be the one that picks at the older brother until the older brother turns around and punches him in the mouth, and now they're like, oh, I didn't mean it. Like, And I do like, trust me, I do enjoy watching AEW and everything like that. If it wants to be an alternative and it wants to just be literally another wheel on, you know,
Another Impact.
wrestling. But if it wants to try and, you know, come at WWE, then it's got to expect and anticipate that comparison and that back and forth and that battle. You can't go into that with thick skin or with thin skin and, you know, not being able to stand the heat.
Anthony, what's going on? I do want to touch on your comment right quick because I strongly disagree with this. This is very much vice versa. He says, for me, I feel like AEW caters to the ICW. I'm not for sure if you mean WCW possibly, or you may have meant ICW.
No, he's mean
what the fuck is ICW?
I think he was trying to say internet wrestling fans. So he might
ICW.
Like I said, he might have fucked that part up. But
okay, but no, I think that this is all wrong.
No.
AEW doesn't cater
that's ass backwards.
Yeah, they don't cater to the casual wrestling fans. WWE caters to the casual wrestling fans. AEW caters to the hardcore and old school fans. AEW blood, all the fucking random ass gimmick.
Wait. There's way too many. Sorry to interrupt, but there's way too many points going on in this one, right? Because there's a whole bunch of mixed things. AEW has a niche audience, so they do kind of cater to the hardcore. The old school fans fucking hate AEW because it's flips, tricks, gimmick on gimmick on gimmick. So some of the older guys think it's too much of that garbage junk wrestling, but the old school fans don't really like WWE either.
Right
now, Triple H, we're doing packages for the US title, trying to bring back old fans and remind people that there's a history behind it. WWE more caters to that casual fan. They want a broader audience. They want, to kind of wipe everybody with the same brush. I think that's about to change in the WWE, and we've seen change of that. But AEW definitely has that hardcore audience that are loyal to a fault. I mean, and we're probably going to get into it, but I mean, we've talked about when you say AEW is not doing so well or the so-and-so is not really good, people lose their fucking mind, including the people in AEW that feel the need to defend themselves and feel the need to be, like you said, engaging in kind of childishness instead of just being professional and being like, oh fuck you. Haters are going to hate. Like, no, they get their panties in a bunch when the dirt sheets start writing shit that they don't like.
And I will always clear this up. I'm not against AEW, and anytime I tell you guys that AEW isn't, I may be against it now, but
no,
but so
I'm not against it.
I'm trying to find the lane again because my main company they are finding their stretch. So now I stopped watching WWE because AEW has something else for me to something else. They had better entertainment, but now WWE is bringing that back. So if I do switch over back to WWE fully,
yes.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. But with AEW, when I say that AEW is not going to make it, they're struggling, they're not making it at all. They are making it, but they're not making it because, like I said, they're staying in that same lane. They have nowhere. It's like they don't know how to grow. That's where I come with it. It's like you can only do it for so long. And it's been multiple reports, multiple people commenting about it. AEW, they need to get rid of, they need to stop doing what they were doing at day one. They need to open up, they need to cut the shit and go to a whole different atmosphere, like strongly. Like you can bring some of the old shit, but do something different. No. Like Tony Khan got new teammates now.
But here's the problem.
Open that shit up more.
Well, here's the problem, CJ, for so long, and now we're seeing it. Like every week is a specialty event. We used to, like, the first time we were like, oh, they're gonna do Fighter Fest. We're like, oh, cool, what's this? Or winter is coming. Oh shit, what does this mean? Oh, it means Sting's back. There were these little, side events that weren't your pay-per-views that generally meant something cool was probably gonna happen. But now we're getting one every week, and you can't do something big and cool every week. And then to what you're doing is tacking on the hot shotting of for the last and listen. Fact checkers, you guys can go out and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been at least 8 weeks of death match, hardcore match, no DQ match, coffin match, cage match. When was the last time we had? And I think I joked on Friday last week where we have a main event or we have a match that isn't a bloody, gory mess or some type of gimmick match. Again. I like the hardcore. I like the violence. I like the fucking battles. But I don't need someone bleeding every fucking show or every segment of the show. where people are just gushing blood everywhere, and it takes the oh my gods out of it, right? Like, it's like Brock Lesnar shows up next week with a tractor. We're gonna be like, what the fuck, this again? Like, you can't keep.
Nah, if
doing
he show up with a tractor, I'd be here for that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's only two things.
WWE hasn't burned you out on that though. That's a bit of the thing, is that it to me, I absolutely have a a special place in my heart for AEW and everything, and especially certain people on that roster. But to me, when you keep taking shots at WWE and you want to be viewed on par with them and want to be compared to them, then you have to expect when that comparison starts going and you're not in your favor, that you're going to have to eat that. And it's a little bit like you were saying, KJ, they've just burnt people out on the returns, the debuts, the special gimmick this, the special show here. For crying out loud, we got Quake at the Lake. And to me, that's up there on the Hall of Fame of terrible names for wrestling pay-per-views, up there with Great Balls of Fire and everything else. Like the fact that's it's just funny. It's like you said it's putting a hat on a hat on a hat, and at times they do put great talent, but they're getting into that lane of you either want to compete and try and take down the the giant, or you want to be an alternative. If you want to be an alternative, that's great, all the respect to you and everything like that. And now we can just go from that, like you were saying, CJ, of now we can view you from that lane. But when you constantly wanted to be a competitor and a threat, well, then you need to be viewed as such. And lately, you've been taking a lot of wrong steps instead of right steps. And especially when your competition's taking a lot of big major steps. And like I've said, is doing you better with bringing back Karrion Kross in an interesting way, bringing back Dexter Lumis in an interesting way, surprise return of Dakota Kai and Io Sky. So when WWE starts to do better than what you're doing at your own game, then you need to really reevaluate what you have going on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to step up your game. And all I think is this, and I know people sometimes will say, oh, we heard you saying this stuff about AEW. We say the same shit about when we were on here for weeks after week after weeks, where fucking the WWE was fucking awful. It was just commercial, backstage, promo, like no fighting, lots of talking, no action, no story, bailing on gimmicks. We shit all over it, and we will again. And as Mr. Papa Paul, if he fucks up, and we've had criticism of him, what I think happened with Tony was he was in cruise control. And I keep saying this. He was the Robin Hood of wrestling. He was stealing from the rich, giving them poor.
Literally.
Literally doing that. And he was pushing out the, he was giving the fans an opportunity to see the characters we love that got buried in the WWE come to life in AEW. I love it. It's been really good. Dynamite was the best show week in and week out and week in and week out for a long,
know what's all about that, boo? I told you I'm saying that shit.
Well,
I always think about the Kenny Omega stuff, bro.
It's been all of that, but they've also been a bit snake bit, but they haven't helped their own cause, like with Tony's comments when Vince stepped down. I know I'm trying to keep teasing you, KJ, with having that there and everything about.
Yeah, is that you put that there?
Yeah. Well, I thought you were halfway going there, and you kind of switched.
TJ took us off. I got caught up in defending AEW for a second.
Look, fudge. I want to touch. I just want to because we got to interact with the fans right quick because I don't know what Anthony means about this. He said, "CJ, see, I'm a Russian fan that down the middle. I hate the fanboys on both sides, and sometimes that can ruin it for the fans. That's very true. And that are down the middle and just fans of wrestling.
Well, what I think is he's touching on this fact that the fanboys, as he put it, it's the diehards that don't want to hear anything bad. Like their company's perfect, the other company's completely horrible and shit, and that's it. And they've drawn a line in the sand, right? And I mean, for us, we talk about it all the time where we're just wrestling fans. What happened there?
I have no idea.
We lost him.
But
wait,
he's coming back.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's the whole tribalism to me that instantly screws up any sort of discussion as to what's actually good in professional wrestling. Is the minute just because it's attached to a certain company, you discredit it. That's already you were off to a bad foot. We're already on a bad start. Like you
My
should be
bad,
open
look.
and to just professional wrestling in general.
Look, on my mouse, I got this back button right here. I fucking clicked it and boom, I was.
I've been there before.
I was like, nah. Oh, so yeah, but I did hear. I know, right? I didn't hear everything you guys said, but I did hear portions of it, and that's why I was saying I don't think that I'm a fanboy of. No, I'm lying like a mother. I am 90. I'm 90% WWE, but I'm the other 10% goes to AEW. I mean, it's like I said once again. The only reason I stopped watching, I went to AEW is because they had the old WWE guys there, pretty much. You know, and that it was something new. It was a new environment. We were able to see pretty much NXT on a bigger scale. You know, with AEW. But now, like I said, we got Hunter back. Hunter's gonna take that Shazam back and put it back on Raw and Smack. Well, put it on Raw and SmackDown. So now it's like, hey, this is my I'm always going to be a WWE diehard fan to the day I die. It doesn't matter at all.
It's hard when they're the Disney of professional wrestling, though. That's the thing. Right. When you think of like a band, well, I can't even say it without saying it. When you think of a Band-Aid, you think of the company Band-Aid. You don't think of an elastic bandage. When you think of pro wrestling, you think of WWE or WWF, depending on what type of vintage you are as a wrestling fan. You don't think of AEW, Impact, GCW, maybe
if you say to somebody, hey, I'm a big wrestling fan, or we talk about wrestling a lot, they generally come back with, like the WWE.
You know what's sad?
Right.
They don't even bring up WWE. They bring up Hulk Hogan or the Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
WWE. I had people ask me like, is Undertaker still wrestling?
Yeah,
still wrestling? Like that's where they know people from. They don't know. Like John Cena's like the end of that line.
Yeah, true. I don't. I never have anybody ask me about Cena. I've never have met somebody that. Well, I brought up wrestling. Nobody ever talked about Cena. It was always Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, and there was one more guy in the middle of it. It wasn't Bret Hart, but it was some other guy that he was around that time. Who? Right. Not even Shawn Michaels. Nobody brings up Shawn Michaels either. Nobody brings up Shawn Michaels, Triple H, none of the NWO guys besides Hulk Hogan.
All right.
But that's what we were saying of that WWE caters to that casual audience that there's still, you could pass anybody and you're wearing a wrestling shirt and they know it's a wrestling shirt. And they'll ask you at least about Hulk Hogan. Guess what? That's WWF. Or they'll ask you about Macho Man. Still WWF.
I do. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm sorry. It wasn't Scott Hall. It was Orton. I get a lot of people that say stuff.
Really?
It makes no sense, but I think it's strictly
that's the RKO out of nowhere.
It really is, and I'm not making it up. But I think it's because I can't even say it's because I'm from St. Louis. People legit say RKO. Randy before they say Cena. Like
really,
Stone Cold Steve Austin is the other guy too.
Yeah.
So of course the founding fathers of the whole company. And The Rock. I don't, I never heard The Rock either come out somebody's mouth yet.
Really? Well, The Rock's
I've never heard
The Rock. Else that he's almost past
a wrestler.
The whole wrestling thing.
But yeah, those are the people. Those are the main people I really hear about. And I am surprised that I hear Orton a lot. But yeah, I hear Orton. I don't hear Cena nor The Rock. And it shocks me because I would say The Rock before I would say probably The Undertaker. I ain't gonna lie. This from my angle, I would say The Rock before anybody else. That would be my first guy. So The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Fuck everybody else. But hey, that's it.
Speaking of now, like I really think this is an opportunity for a lot of people are like, oh, AEW's fucked, they'll be out of business tomorrow, and that's not the case. But this is an opportunity for Tony to prove his value. If he's Booker of the Year and he has the talent, one of the things he's doing to excite the fans and to bring attention to AEW in response to to respond to all of this that's going on is he's introduced the Trios Championship and he's having a Trios tournament.
Oh, you mean the Kenny and Young Bucks belts?
Yes, that's essentially what this is.
The All Elite belts?
The All Elite belts, the Degrassi Junior High belts.
They might as well just have the BTE as the fucking logo on them because they ain't really AEW belts.
Yeah, I don't feel like
honestly should not be the first champs. I would love to see Death Triangle.
Who else do you have winning? Who do you have winning that?
Black House. Black House easily.
Black House.
Black House got more talent. Wait, what is the real name? What's the real name?
I'm not saying you're wrong. If this was anyone but Tony Khan, and it wasn't a trio of EVPs of the company, I would fully agree with you. That's who should win the belts. Who will win the belts is a different answer.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, KJ. I'll touch.
No. Why the hell? What? I want to know what you had.
Why the hell does the Bucks and Kenny have the ability to win straps, the main straps, and Cody didn't have that? What the hell
Because he
happened
booked
there?
himself into if I
Cody had
lose
the
this
TNT
match,
thing,
then
that's
I
what
can
I'm
never compete for the
Yeah.
belt again.
And he did
then
that by
lost that
design,
match.
which is stupid.
He's that type of guy that he will ride or die with kayfabe.
Robert thinks it should be
Robert, that is the first comment you said I freaking agree on.
Why can't we be friends?
Oh man, that's the first comment that man said something that I agree on.
Right?
Damn
But
it,
here's the thing.
yes.
The reason why these belts were introduced now is because the Bucks are being crybabies. The reason why we have this belt at all, and we're going to have this tournament, and the way they set it up is because the Bucks are crybabies.
This man does not like the Bucks.
No, they
I'm trying to almost give him the solo.
completely, ladies and gentlemen, and I know where's my buddy Robert. My buddy Robert's going to hate this, but folks, by all means, you can blow up the chat and let me know how fucking wrong I am. However, the Bucks bitched out. The Bucks got upset. The whole arena was chanting FTR on the show they helped build, the show they helped create, and they just bitched out. And instead of facing FTR, letting FTR go over, letting them prove to everybody they are the true number one in the world. I think I just spit a little on them. That's how I'm getting heated. The true number one tag team in the world. Everybody fucking knows it. The crowd was chanting it. Everyone's seen the best of the best of the best from FTR right now. And instead of the Young Bucks being men, being mature, being professional, being doing what's best for business and your own company, as always, they were selfish little brats that ran away, that didn't compete, gave the belts to Swerve and Lee, and now they're running off. Not only did they go to the trios division so they can hide and not even have a tag match anymore. So now they're not even a tag team. They're a trios team. Oh, whatever. Bullshit. It's dodging it like a ball. Fuck. Then on top of that, you have them setting up this whole angle where, first off, they come out as baby faces, which is ridiculous. And then, like last week, we see this very obvious. It was literally watching Degrassi Junior High. Like, the only thing that was missing was fucking Drake in a wheelchair. Like, they fucking did not, like, oh, guys, you're going to be our buddies. Do you want to hang out? Do you want to be friends? No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to hang around with these jobbers. So it doesn't even make sense that Adam Page is hanging around with Dark Order anymore at all anyway. However, now the Bucks need a partner. What are the odds? Will it be Kenny or someone else from the Bullet Club? I think it's going to be Kenny. We all assume it's going to be Kenny. And this was preordained. This was, the legacy put ahead where the Bucks are going to win this fucking tournament with whoever they're with. And they get to tell everyone in the world, we're the best trios champion ever. I told you guys, aren't we awesome? Well, they better fucking deliver. And they better deliver more than just spot matches. They better give us good matches, because all the AEW fans can say what they want. They can jump on my opinion about this. The best two wrestling matches AEW has produced in this company were on ROH, and that was the FTR Briscoes matches, and it wasn't a whole lot of death shit. It wasn't a whole lot of bleeding. It was straight up tag wrestling, and the fans loved it. It wasn't all the spots and spikes in your shoes, and I don't care what anybody thinks. The Young Bucks used their position and favor with Tony to literally run away, and now they're going to hide in that trios division. Oh, we have to put it on hold. We have a big angle. Bullshit. Now, boys, you can come back.
I almost don't want to, man. I almost don't.
I was gonna say I was about to go, take a pause for the cause.
Right.
You go, just work out whatever aggression you got.
I've been holding that in all week.
I know you've been holding that in since like last Friday.
Well, at least you got some fans in the chat that definitely agree with you. Michael definitely said that. I got to pause one quick second. I'm getting a phone call, so give me literally like a second.
Is it Tony?
Yeah, it's Tony now after your little heater. He's like, shit, tell that man calm down.
All right. I think trios, I think they're going to a trio with Kenny. I agree.
Oh, yeah.
IWGP heavyweight, IWGP, AEW never trios are what is like, I feel like I'm reading a fucking barcode. All these
They
tag
say
titles
all of
they have
the
held
tag belts that
don't
they've
need any more
had.
gold. Yeah, but they had the gold. They just took the gold. They chose to have the gold, defend them, and lose. Listen, FTR versus the Young Bucks, do or die, at All Out would have been a fucking ticket burner. It would have happily sold.
We're
more.
already not going to get the Elite versus the Undisputed Elite, whatever names they want to go by, all of that. We're not going to get that match because Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are still banged up. So why couldn't we get FTR versus the Young Bucks at All Out, like you were just saying there? And they put on a fucking classic match. Because that's the thing, is the Young Bucks do come out for like 1 out of every 10 matches that they have. It's the thing though, is that you can still be good, but when you go out there and you say shit like, we're the reason that families get fed. If I was somebody in that locker room and saw that, fuck off, buddy. I'm punching you in your fucking mouth. When
Are you Canadian? That was your Canadian came out. Fuck
right.
off, buddy.
But that's the thing, though, is you sit there and say you're the reason that fucking food's on my table.
And here's my problem is this self-serving bullshit. One, if it's true, you don't have to put it on your fucking
right. If you know what you did, you don't need to fucking brag about it. If you have to overcompensate because you've got a little shrimp dick motherfucker that you and your brother just sit there and self-fillet each other. Shit, I wasn't trying to shoot as hard as you, but I think I'm getting there.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, like I said, of just to sit there and that's just such a disrespectful, backhanded, like it's so unnecessary and so tone deaf. Like you didn't need to do anything like that.
No, but because people were talking about them not being as good as they were, so because
it's a fucking fact.
Yeah, but the insecure, sad side of them had to put it out there, had to tell everyone how. No. Remember, we're great. Listen, people are they took such a big risk. They didn't take any fucking risk. Yes,
what money did they put up?
Well, they did, as far as I understand, they put up some money for the original All Out where in Chicago. Whether that's
cool. If we buy a fucking pizza and everything and it's $20 and I chip in $2, does that mean I have as much?
Right, but Tony,
I chipped in 18.
Listen, they were smart enough to put on a show that showed a money mark that look how cool this is. We sold out an arena.
Right.
We'll give them credit there.
They're the Jeff Jarrett to Tony's Dixie Carter.
Yes, kind of. And that's the thing where they're like, they took a huge risk. They gave up money in New Japan. Oh, the WWE wanted them. I need to make something very clear to all the fans out there. If you're hearing this live or recorded, and I don't know why my camera just went grayish, but if you are hearing this, let me make it very clear. The WWE did approach Kenny and the Young Bucks and Paige, I believe, and a bunch of them to try and sign them. It wasn't because they were going to be the best in the company. They wanted to sign them the same way they signed the Good Brothers and get them so that no one else could have them.
Exactly.
And
cut the competition out at the knees.
You really think Vince McMahon was going to sign Kenny Omega and have Kenny Omega go over Roman Reigns or Kenny Omega go over? Bullshit. Never going to happen. And again, it's all about how they bring them in. But that was simply strategy. And everyone says, well, they did a big thing by turning down the WWE. They know. They knew. They still know. They weren't going to be able to play in the WWE. Whether that's a bad thing or good thing, they couldn't do their Be the Elite shit. They couldn't be kidding. Well, maybe in the WWE, they get away with it.
We still talking about the goddamn Elite. Hey, I'm gonna tell you so goddamn wrong with all this.
Let's go.
You can legitimately go back and watch your streams from back in the day. Your ass even said this trios titles are gonna come around once it's time for Kenny to come back.
Yeah,
we've all said the same shit.
Where's the line?
Where did I go wrong? I was right.
Oh,
thank you for telling him that he was right.
I was on the phone call, goddamn it! I was taking it. I was taken back. This
man came in with a hot take and just whiffed.
I was like so pumped. I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? Come on.
They did make a huge splash in starting AEW, and it very much has changed the landscape of pro wrestling. Yeah. But the thing is like what you and I think we're both saying is that you don't need to brag about that type of shit. That's a known thing. We don't need to, when you do shit like that, you look like a fucking petulant child that just didn't get their way. you know, because now people are starting to pay attention to the other guys that you now have to sit there and act a fool because you got booed out of your own arena by the team you've been trying to push down for years.
No, but that's the thing, and a lot of people have.
Why do y'all still feel like that they've been pushing down other teams? I don't think
they have with FTR. Literally, go watch it. Go back and watch Being the Elite. They've literally made a whole shtick out of fuck FTR.
They promised the best tag team division
in
the
WWE
world.
or at the time, or was they with
both? All the way back from when they were in Ring of Honor.
Fuck them.
Now, this comment here by Clinton about
that felt like a
touring and da. No. But here's the thing.
What the hell did you just read?
Yeah, I just kind of skimmed over it. But FTR is touring, doing indie promotions. But that's the thing. If I'm Tony Khan, the top guys, the guys that even in Tony Khan, when he does the press conference after Ring of Honor, going on about how great they are and how their music changed them and da. All right, great. Make them your world champions.
They don't need to. It's going to derail them. It's going to derail the whole entire career.
Who?
Who?
FTRs.
For what?
Hey, bro, come on. What weight does AEW titles hold in their own company?
Yeah, but
that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is if you made them matter.
How?
Make the belts matter.
How?
Put them on FTR.
No, it doesn't matter. I can put them on my top guys. So it don't matter. CM Punk is the top guy.
Matter.
Look what dude. Did you guys? So you telling me that you telling me this right now? You guys miss CM Punk on TV?
Yeah, he was one of the more interesting things on AEW.
Would AEW be okay without
I'm saying
CM
is
Punk?
that FTR gets attention and gets draws, gets clicks.
Not only that, but they bring
outside of AEW. So if you put your belt on them and they're taking pictures with those instead of the IWGP Championship, instead of the Ring of Honor Championship, instead of the AAA Championship, and you're having the top guys, the top tag team in professional wrestling, taking pictures plastered everywhere on social media with your belts, then that matters. They should have done that, but you had certain people with creative control. If they got
IWGP and Ring of Honor, then they get the AEW straps. What belt is really more important?
I get what you're saying to an extent, but I'm saying you build up that AEW belt.
How?
No. But you
build it on them
because it's your company's belt.
It don't even matter, bro. If you can't build up the damn titles on the guys that they got it right now, that belt don't mean shit.
Yeah, but the problem is but the Bucks. That's what we're talking about. This tag team division was supposed to be the shit, and it went to shit, and it got really slow and boring.
Who fucked up? Who is the person that messed up?
I blame Tony.
Super kick.
Why do you think that the Bucks messed up this is their what?
Because they're the whole reign. It doesn't work for me, brother.
Who beat them for the belts?
Lucha. They didn't loot. Was it a? Oh no! Did the Lucha Brothers take it off them? Or did they? No, they lost to Jurassic Express.
To Swerve on Our Glory.
Oh, now they did.
But who did the Bucks lose first to?
The first title they lost was to I can't even fucking see. That's the point. You don't even fucking remember. It doesn't matter.
They lost to Jungle Express.
Yeah, okay.
We've only had 3 different people hold them tag titles.
No.
Bucks, Jungle Express, Bucks,
SDU.
Swerve and Lee.
Right,
SDU.
but the best tag
team
in
professional
wrestling should actually make it halfway competitive, right?
Wait, what?
I said the quote unquote best tag team in professional wrestling should at least try and make it competitive and see like there's
maybe they don't want them. Maybe they strictly don't want them. They don't. And me personally, like I said, if they get the belts, they are going to go from top team to shitty team. Why? Because the roster ain't there no more. The focus went from tags to trios to Ring of Honor to IWGP. AEW is left in the dust.
There's too many plates going,
and that's a Tony issue. You gotta
let me bring this up too about Ring of Honor right quick.
All right.
If they simply this is some shit I was listening to earlier, and I strongly agree with it. If AEW pay-per-views are on a Sunday, Ring of Honor has perfect time to have a pay-per-view on Saturdays. Why? Because now you have Ring of Honor being that NXT show of a WWE show. Basically, that's exactly how you would have it. Why can't we have that shit implemented? I know you guys probably seen it in the news. AEW is supposed to be doing two night pay-per-views.
Not on that. Tony's actually come out and said that.
I know. But see, let me get to the shit. Tony came out. He cut that shit on AEW having 2-night events. He didn't say that Ring of Honor wasn't going to have one on Saturday and AEW could have one on Sunday. That's AEW still, right? Ring of Honor is now AEW, right? That's that way. That's Dustin Rhodes. He should have shut the hell up. And Tony Khan, I think that this is what we're going to go to. I think Restriction's going to get a Ring of Honor pay-per-view followed up by an AEW pay-per-view no matter what. I think Dustin, he just didn't clarify what the hell was really going on. He was talking out of his ass and shouldn't have said any damn thing.
I agree with you in that. Well, I think you nailed it on the head. In one of the past streams or whatever, to where you were saying that Ring of Honor should replace Rampage and just be a 1-hour show on Fridays.
Oh,
and it follows up SmackDown and everything like that. Like, it's that extra little bit of wrestling. If you're into wrestling, you're to watch it. TNT can kind of promote it, all of that. And it's not a complete carryover just from Rampage. But I do. Now, would you have them do just like a 1-hour pay-per-view, or say 2-hour pay-per-view?
No, like
just like the 5-hour pay-per-views that AEW does?
No. 2 hours only. AEW need to cut that shit ASAP with the 4-hour pay-per-views in all the companies, unless it's a WrestleMania. 3 hours at the max. We don't need to see no more.
I'm okay with bleeding into like 3.
I could do 4.
4 max.
4 hours is too much. Because if it's AEW's all out pay-per-view, then sure, go ahead and do 4. But the other pay-per-views, 3 hours is all I need, because you can't. From what I've seen, they don't know how to structure a pay-per-view, first of all. And from what I heard, you guys were on stream for 6 hours that one pay-per-view they did?
Fuck
that.
The night Punk won and nobody cheered.
Fuck.
They were literally
Why didn't they cheer?
Coming out and we're like, I don't care who wins, just make it fast.
Yeah, someone pin them. We gotta go home.
Sean brings up a perfect point. WrestleMania they used to do 7 hours. That's why they got split in half, and we do 3-hour shows on each side.
It should be a 5-hour. It should be a 5-hour Sunday event. You have to. It's a fucking participation medal. Everybody and their uncle gets to be on WrestleMania now. The best of the best used to be on WrestleMania. Fucking everybody.
But see, back in the day, it was a participation thing. But now,
back in the day, it was a short show.
No, I'm sorry. When I say back in the day, let me go back. Vince McMahon era of the COVID era, when the two shows came
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
that was the participation. Now with Hunter being here, there is a strong possibility where we can finally see a Raw WrestleMania and a SmackDown WrestleMania. Strictly, that's all. I would like to see that. If we see that, then sell me every damn thing.
But now, is it actually going to be any different, or is it just going to be literally because Hunter knows how to book and knows how to do storylines and everything like that it feels different? Even if it's the exact same thing.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. If you can book the show perfectly fine, you can write better. That's all that we really look for. Because you can go out, you can do Tony Khan's job. You can book the matches. See, AEW, they got good professional wrestlers, but the stories is what sucks. We really don't. You can't buy into AEW stories, because it's like you buy into it, they fight, they quote unquote end it, but then it gets reinitiated. Like yesterday, come on, the BCC and Jackass Society. Why we get that again?
Fucking fighting.
Yeah. I've already been on record of it pains me to see what they're doing to my boy Eddie Kingston. Of this man was the hottest babyface, and they could have done a Daniel Bryan babyface run with him after the Players Tribune article and everything like that. And then he gets stuck in a goddamn feud with Chris Jericho that goes on for far too long, and his gimmick match on top of gimmick match, and Jericho still has to win out in the end. And now he has to fight Jericho's underboss, Sammy, at the quote-unquote next pay-per-view. So now you're just seeing somebody who could have been literally your next Daniel Bryan, your natural, organic babyface, your underdog story, and he's just sliding down the card, and no one wants to say anything about it.
Yes, I definitely do agree for sure. I don't know, man. It's hard, I don't even know what to say, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, because like I said, I'm not a full-on WWE mark, and I'm nowhere near close to being an AEW fan. pretty much.
We're pro
I'm a
wrestling fan.
casual- I shit. WWE ain't even pro
He's a
wrestling.
WWE fan. Let's be real.
Yeah, you're
I'm
a sports entertainment
I'm a
fan.
sports entertainer fan for sure, and that's gonna stay that way. Just because you like it, I mean, come on now. Until AEW can reach the value of WWE, then I'll be okay. But
Right?
it's nothing wrong with that either. It's
But
nothing
I'm a
wrong with
huge fan of AEW. Now I'm being critical because there's things that are like, okay, I've seen this. Like Tony, you had me hook, line, and sinker. New company, Jericho, Lucha Bros, Box, Kenny,
What?
All right, let's go, right? Like, let's go. This is awesome. And sure enough, we get into it. We're like, okay. And we're excited. We're seeing different shit. Oh my God, this is crazy. And all these, oh my God, Daniel, this, that. I was right there with them.
Mm-hmm.
But now where we go, we're like, I just feel like we're in a rut as a fan base of like, okay, Moxley bleeds, we get it. There's going to be a hardcore match of some kind, we get it. Nothing's really going to progress. Jericho's going to be in a 2-year-long fucking rivalry with somebody that he's milking the fucking. Jericho fucking sucks the life out of people like a paralegal making $300,000. It's fucking brutal. And listen, people were talking about Jericho. Jericho did the whole Lion Tamer thing. I don't know if you guys saw it. He came out to his old music, came out in his old like the yellow Lionheart.
Was that just because he forgot that he still?
He even had the hair done up. I think he had extensions in. He had a ponytail. Like, Jericho went old school.
You know who should have been AEW champs by now? Eddie Kingston.
Listen,
that man should have been champ. I think when he got into the company, when he was first, he was feuding with Moxley, right?
Yeah.
That should have been the time. For him to get that
especially when he had the feud with Punk.
Oh yeah! Oh hell yeah! You know what? Sadly, I think it's kind of too late for him to get the shop now, Loki.
I think so right now because they've milked him. Now,
you're gonna watch a grown man's heart break on stream,
right? But Eddie's I think he can turn the corner and go the other way with it.
They just need to take. This what helps everybody. Take a vacation. Take a vacation for a couple months, bro.
Yeah, how can I miss you if you never go away? But that's the thing is Eddie was red hot.
Yes.
And then they've just pulled him off bit by bit.
You know why he was red hot though? That damn mouth.
Oh well, and he was allowed to be him.
Yes.
Everybody knows 10 people that are exactly like Eddie Kingston. But that's the thing is Tony had that very much that grace period of to where he let people do what they wanted to do, and now it's unfortunately seemed like it's burned people out. Like they kind of shot their load a little too quick, and WWE's now been playing the slow burn. Like we had Cross come back, but we still don't fully know what's going on. It wasn't just like okay, he's back, and then now he's instantly here. And even with like Dexter Lumis, he's back, but he's getting handcuffed and dragged out by police.
It's all a part of a storyline. We gotta wait. We gotta wait it out. Right. That's all.
Well, it's even shit. How long were we on here talking about the whole thing with the Edge kind of vignettes and everything?
Right.
WWE is good now at playing the slow game. AEW is kind of just like here. I know you want it, so here.
But you know what? You can't blame them half of the time because when they do that shit, it's with ex-WWE guys who already has a story built up for themselves. They already got their legacy pretty much cemented. So you got to throw it in. So like pretty much, and it's kind of crazy. I pretty much just agreed with you guys when it came to Punk. Punk 7 years, fuck it don't matter because he was still his legacy was already cemented. He can be the champion because why? Because he doesn't really need another backstory when it comes to AEW. But that's why I was saying with the other guy, he's talking about AEW needs to stop with the WWE gimmicks. I mean, the WWE feuds. They can't because they don't know how to build their own legacy. Name one AEW guy right now that you can honestly say that will be successful and well known because of AEW. That's not from WWE. That's not from WWE. But why?
MJF.
It's because of his mouth. That's it.
He got himself over, and they haven't ruined it.
He got who? Who got him over?
Yeah, but I mean, he's still.
But no, who got him over though?
But he got himself over. But that's the same for everybody.
And that's the problem, though. No, it's the same. It's the same sometimes for everybody, but at the same time, when does it come to the part where my creative team? What is my creative team going to do?
It's just Tony.
That's why everybody has creative control because Tony doesn't know what the fuck to do, and that's why Wyndham can't. If Wyndham goes there, Wyndham is going to fuck himself low key because he's going to have 100%. He's going to he's gonna have 100% creative control. He's not gonna have somebody to be there like, hey, bro, this is a little bit too much.
Right.
Let's like dumb it down just a tad bit. If he goes to WWE, Hunter will be that guy. Bray, I love the idea. Let's take this off. Let's save this for a later time. I go to AEW. I'm finna go full on. I'm finna milk that shit.
Do everything the first fucking week.
And that's the problem. That's the whole problem.
You'd have a little bit of like with like Kenny and all of them involved of like, yeah, Bray, that's great. If the Fiend came up out of the ring and everything, but it'd also be cool if he was like wearing like, a headband and like the outfit from like Street Fighter and everything like that. And, he went Hadouken and just they'd add in two little like just cheesy, just dorky, like just they'd go way too just close to the vest jokes and everything with it. They wouldn't take it seriously at all.
Yeah, man. But like I said, once again, I'm not against AEW. I'm gonna have to always, anytime I talk shit about the company, I gotta come back and say I do like AEW. Am I interested in their shows right now? No. Why? Because it's the same stick right now, and it's too many gimmick shows for me. I just want a regular Dynamite with regular fighting, no bleeding, leave Mox off the card. Or I'm scared at this point. Mox is gonna come on there and fucking bleed while talking one day. This fucking start foaming from the mouth.
Bleeding from
That's what happens. The wind blows the wrong way. I've already said multiple times. This man's got a
man I ever seen forehead from a clothesline to the chest. So keep that in mind. But here's the knock on Tony Khan for me. He gets the talent. Yeah, right. Here's my look. We got our little cut the shit segment. So
where the hell is Victor?
Right.
So
for me, my problem with Tony Khan ends up being, it's like he doesn't know where to go. Like everybody lost their mind. One of the coolest wrestling things I saw in a while was that double the double dip, right? The double swerve where we get Cole and then we get Bryan. Everyone's like, "Holy fuck!" And neither one of those two did anything of value since then. Like, you have this buzz. CM Punk comes back. You have a buzz. Wardlow gets his own buzz. Wardlow gets himself over, and you've systematically made us care less about Wardlow for the last 3 weeks. Yep. He fought fucking security guards and fucking nobodies. And he argued with Mark Schmark, and now Satnam Singh threw him around and put him through a table. Wardlow, for me, is a glaring example of where do we go with this. Orange Cassidy. I know you hate Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Wardlow, all them guys.
They got themselves over and then fizzled.
Even the Acclaim.
Right now, well, the Acclaim's still on their way up. He's got an opportunity to do stuff with the Acclaim. I think the Acclaim would be amazing in WWE.
Facts. Without the rap.
Give him the rap. Fuck it.
Every quote-unquote pillar that every quote-unquote pillar that AEW's had, to quote an MJF promo, Tony seems to just slowly be chipping away at, whether it be through shitty booking, whether it be through just misuse, that, and the other. He seems to just be constantly just undermining his own self-made homegrown talent.
And the ones he's signing, because you sign Ruby Soho, everyone's like, "Oh, fuck Ruby!" Brat, go to Dark. Oh my God, you signed the Hardys. Wait.
But you can't even bring that. Jeff
I'll stop. But
Jeff fucked himself.
I mean, even like
allegedly.
Are we not running the same problem with Tony Storm now? Tony comes in, everyone's like, "Oh my God, she's hot, she's awesome."
Well, she's come in and instantly outshine your women's champion. She's instantly coming and outshine Thunder Rosa.
Give her the belt right away. Fuck it.
That's what I'm saying,
that's
bro.
What I'm saying, though. That's a problem. Is just he hasn't been able to actually flesh out any sort of storylines or do any sort of long-term booking because he just keeps signing everybody. He's like the fucking millionaire with fucking money on free agent day of just, I'm gonna sign that person and that person and that person and that person.
I would tell you this is a fix. Tony Khan got too much assets right now. He got all this damn talent, all these big guys, all these little ass guys. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't like Tony Khan's booking of the WWE people, but sadly, you look at the women's division.
I would do that.
The ex-WWE people are not on top. So if he's promoting the AEW people, would that division be the same way? Like, I mean, would the men's division be the same way? Like, I don't know. Would it be the same way at that point? Like, does he have no choice but to
No, I
You
think
know,
because he's
let's do
afraid of
that.
the fans, right? Because he has that loyal pit bull version of the fans that
But you gotta, and that's and
you got to get
bro,
past that, right? So
He's afraid to lose the niche audience to
but
lose
that's the
the
problem.
loyalists.
Going back to the Bucks, when you're watching a team, any sports team, if your best guys aren't your best guys, you lose. And when you have young Bucks sitting on top and dictating what's happening in this division, and everyone knows FTR should be on the top, that they have everybody's belt but yours, and they should be there. People get frustrated, and the fans told the Young Bucks what they thought. They thought FTR was better, and they made it vocal. And that's the thing with some of the booking, like the AEW's women division. You bring in these WWE talents, and Tony's afraid to, oh, look, you just bring in the WWE guys and girls and push them. Yeah, but the problem is if you don't push Tony, you don't push Ruby, we keep getting fucking undercard ladies fighting, and everyone thinks that your fucking women's division sucks. I mean, there's a huge difference for me between Riho and fucking Tony Storm. Push Tony Storm.
It's called Kenny Omega being involved.
Well, that's not part of the problem.
they probably need to. Well, with Madison Rain,
right?
Oh, no, speaking of that, why did she get a TBS title, which the TBS title is now more important than the AEW women's title? Why did she get a TBS title shot
oh my god,
ahead of Athena and Chris Statlander, who have been building up this whole feud with Jade Cargill, just because literally she just happened to now become a coach, and Tony just realized, oh shit, I can actually pay her to try and do some things around here. But yeah, their whole women's division is just, it feels like they just throw something against the wall and see what sticks for that week.
And I mean, I feel bad. Thunder Rosa, I'm a huge fan of Thunder Rosa, yet she seems to be a lackluster champion because she's in matches we don't really give a shit about.
She's the Liv Morgan of AEW. She's great on the challenge, and then once she gets the belt, the fans turn.
Right, but here's the thing. What was
nobody turned on her though? Wait. Nobody turned on. She's just boring.
Nobody turns in. They turn off.
But you can't. But I'm sorry, KJ. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Ring of Honor. We hit the pay-per-view. One of the best matches that entire night that a lot of people overlooked, but we felt like it was one of the best ones leading up until what happened. I mean, was Deeb and Martinez, and that was a wicked match. Why is that not happening in your women's division on AEW? And you have Deeb. So why is Deeb going to have a wicked match on ROH, which doesn't really exist yet, or kind of, sort of, when they could, why is not Deeb pushing Thunder Rosa to these amazing matches, getting standing ovations, instead of, oh, here, we're going to do this shit again. Oh, here's Britt and Hayter in another tag team match. Like, are they, like, is Britt and Hayter just permanently in a tag team now? Why are we not getting more of good, solid women's wrestling?
Let me ask this then. Ooh. Do you think there's a different fan base between the Ring of Honor and AEW crowd? Could that be the difference?
Yeah, slightly, but I think it's one and the same. I think they blur together. I think the hardcore of the hardcore are both.
So, do you like what I'm saying? Basically, do you think the same fans that watch AEW shows up for that Ring of Honor card?
Yes. Very much so.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that the same fans for AEW show up to the WWE cards, and why not?
No, less.
I knew he was gonna say no. Why not?
I know. I think it's changing because I feel like that's the problem. Is a lot of AEW's initial fan audience were dejected WWE fans that got sick of the whole PG product, the whole Vince product, and viewed AEW as this is an alternative. Like you even, I think, said it, CJ, of I got sick of WWE, so this is still pro wrestling, and this is what I'll tune into now. Yeah. And now that WWE is going back to what it should have been and could have been, you're seeing that audience, I feel like, sway away from AEW to WWE.
Right? When your fridge is empty and the only thing you have in your fucking fridge is a pizza pocket, that pizza pocket looks fucking delicious.
It tastes fucking gourmet.
Right, but when the fridge is full and you got some really good shit going on and the barbecue's going out back, that pizza pocket stays in the back of the freezer for a little bit longer. And that to me is just, all right, the game's been upped. And listen, I'm rooting for Tony. If Tony can pick his socks up and stop letting all the wrestlers dictate how this show goes, what the fuck? If they can do that, then you have a shot. If you can trust in guys like Regal and trust in guys like Taz and whoever else, Mark Henry, for fuck's sake, guys that actually.
Why wasn't Regal named a coach or something?
He is a coach.
He is.
He is. But you gotta think
Sorry.
about it. You gotta think about this. All these old guys that's in the backstage, they are coaches. But like I said, Tony isn't going to tell us because
the Booker is booking.
Yeah, he doesn't. He ain't gonna tell us.
The Booker is clueless.
I can guarantee you this right now. The people that he's literally just named as being coaches have always been behind the scenes. Probably not Madison Rain. Probably not Madison Rain. But I think that other people did. You said what now?
I thought the Madison Rain being a coach was their way of being like, oh no, we just want to, sorry, Impact, we're going to bring her in as a coach and then just pull a fast one and put her in the ring 2 weeks ago.
It's honestly weird as hell. But I want to touch on this comment real quick from Anthony right quick.
All right.
This is something that he was talking about with Mox. He simply said, but what do you guys expect Mox to do? Or you don't go to the owner and say, stop booking me in these matches. So, okay, I pretty much, I made up the comment. All right, what the fuck? Oh, fuck that.
What was that?
Moxley is not taking command. I know, right? No, because I ain't got time to read.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Moxley is not. Oh, matter of fact, that wasn't even the right comment. This was the right comment. See, I don't blame Moxley for being in those type of matches. It make more sense now. It's Tony for booking him in the corner. I 100% disagree with that. Mox is not taking orders from Tony Khan at all.
No, it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's very much the other way around. It is the other way around, and it's so crazy that I'm going to go back. I'm going to agree with you guys on the whole EVP situation. These guys, your biggest guys, Tony Khan is taking lead from the bigger guys. If Mox say, "Hey, I want to go work for WWE for this show," what the fuck Tony gonna do? Say no? And you potentially got to risk losing Moxley now? No, Tony Khan's gonna say, "Go ahead, bye, go ahead. We'll see you later. We'll see you on GCW next week." He's gonna be that guy. If Kenny says, "Hey, Tony, I gotta go to New Japan to go wrestle," what you think gonna happen? He's gonna go wrestle for New Japan, regardless if they got a contract agreement. Regardless if, let's say, New Japan was
no, that's not happening.
They ain't like each other. I'm just saying though, that's some shit that could it ain't a fucking reach, because if that's a reach, then what y'all said about the Bucks is definitely a reach.
What? No.
Wait, what was that?
Because you're saying that basically the Bucks, they can do what they want to do because they are best friends with Tony Khan, right?
Yeah.
Because
so
they're EVPs in the company, because they're part of what caused the company to happen. I'm not disagreeing with you that Mox decides that he wants to do what he wants to do. Mox gets off to, having all of, these hardcore death matches and everything else. And coming out there like he's half stumbling around and playing Wild Thing 18 times. But still, that doesn't mean that Tony shouldn't police himself and say, right, Mox, well, you've now bled from a clothesline. So let's not go out and have a match involving like a fucking pizza cutter now.
You need an authority figure, right? Like if, I don't know, pick a wrestler, throws a temper tantrum and they're yelling, like, what the aura that Vince McMahon had with everybody. So nobody, not many people were screaming and yelling at Vince and getting away with it. And you understood that. The buck stopped them. Triple H is another guy that I don't think he looks like he fucks around very often.
They come off seriously. They come off as someone that actually is going to be authoritative.
No hugs.
Right. It's not Tony Khan with action figures backstage.
Yeah, Jericho looks at Tony and says, "Listen, MJF's going to throw me off the cage into a big fucking crash pad." And Tony goes,
Orange Cassidy is going to toss me into a big bowl of orange juice.
And even if Tony's like, I don't know, that doesn't sound great.
Triple H doesn't do the hug, and he goes up to the new champion, points at your ass.
He does something.
Right. Yeah. Tony Khan.
Right.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Tony Khan's in that deep, warm embrace.
It's
Triple H is just...
Like I said, I don't want anybody here to think that we're completely shooting on AEW.
No, I'm rooting for AEW.
This is what you call true fans of wrestling. We're not casual wrestling fans where we don't give a two flying Shazams about it. We are people that strictly loves wrestling. Like we are strictly, I won't even say professional wrestling fans. We are fans of wrestling in general, since we can't say both. But we want to see growth in both companies. WWE, they are already seeing growth. AEW, I can't say that they're seeing growth because it's the same model. The show starts.
To make a long story
It's
short,
Wednesday. You know what that is?
WWE's
Move on.
changes has exposed the weaknesses in AEW. That's
It
really
really
what it
has.
boils down
Yeah.
to.
I do agree with you on that because ever since Monday happened, I wasn't happy for Wednesday, and same with this week. I was like, "Fuck."
You
Wednesday.
weren't quaking for the Lakin?
Do you guys ever play a video game and you're fucking crushing it? You're crushing it. You're like, I'm the best fucker ever in this fucking game. Nobody can touch me.
And then you go and play online.
And then you go online and somebody reminds you that I'm
garbage at this game.
Bangkok, and I will fucking own your ass for 25 minutes on any game you got. That's the thing. That's kind of what was happening. Was Tony was playing one player. Vince wasn't playing along.
Right, he was playing offline, and Vince was always playing online.
Right, like Vince wasn't fucking with him. Vince wasn't playing a game. Right, Vince didn't care. Vince was just caring about apparently paralegals and money. That's all Vince really gave a shit about, and that's why nothing changed in the WWE. And we were so fed up with it.
He couldn't remember anything.
Where people are like, "Oh, look at the WWE fans going crazy." Yeah, we're fucking excited because it's a dawning of a new day, and it has been. And that's where, like, I pulled up the moment of the week. My moment of the week in the last 7 days since the last time we did Let's Rumble.
Oh shit!
It's fucking, to me, it's a no-brainer. The Karrion Kross moment was huge, and it was a big fucking statement. Vince treated you like shit. Vince fucked up your gimmick. I gave you a good one. You and I worked out a good thing. Together we made magic. You're coming back as that guy with your beautiful wife, and we're gonna fucking send a message. And to me, it was wicked. It really shows where we're at. Tony, you got to pick your game up, bud. Pressure's on. There's another player in the room. You got to go.
So let me ask you this, because Jake came in there and said some stuff. Where do you see the Fiend being on WWE right now? Where can he fit?
I think he has to go after Jan.
What?
Were you saying what to me or what to him?
Yeah, what to you?
What to you? Did you say horse ass?
That he comes in post-draft. Like when they actually have a draft.
Oh,
and then they force a title on Raw, a main title, whether they strip one from Roman or they make a quote-unquote interim, what have you.
Give me a break, Karrion Kross.
I think Karrion might stay on SmackDown. As far as I know, he's booked internally as the number 2 heel on SmackDown. But I think Bray absolutely. And I keep saying it. You do the Fiend and you have him like the Undertaker. He pops in, he's there for a week or two, then he pops out. He's there for this pay-per-view, then he pops out. You don't have him week to week because then that special attraction fades, and he can always keep that creative juices going. And if he wants to do stuff on the side, there you go.
Well, yeah, I agree. Either of you have a pick? Your moment of the week? Anything stand out that was real cool this week?
I'm gonna see if CJ has one, and then I'll go.
I'm in the mix. Definitely overall, I got 2 of them. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The first one is definitely Karrion Kross. I was in my car driving, like I said, I popped like a motherfucker. I was screaming, like I was like, hell yeah. The second one is the Dexter Lumis portion of it. That. Nick, I ain't gonna touch. I'm gonna let Nick touch on that.
No, you have it. Go ahead. I'll think of one. Go ahead.
So with Dex Lumis coming back, we were trying to figure out. Me and KJ, we were trying to figure out. Wait, Nick, was you on Monday? Okay, so all 3 of us were trying to figure out what the fuck was the car crash and why was there a car crash. And
I was about to say, just the murder she wrote, the mystery in the background.
Yes, and I loved how it was a mystery. It was a build-up to like, okay, we got a car accident. What the fuck is a car accident for? And then now we have an idea. We have a general idea. Like, okay, cool. It may be Dexter Lumis. We don't know. So I'm curious to figure out on Monday what's next. Or shit, are they going to do anything with him on Friday as well? Because you never know. You never know. But hey, Theory, Dexter, and it's time to see if Gargano's going to come back, and maybe we'll have the way. Maybe.
Oh wow.
Because now we're going to have 2 more returns on SmackDown. I'm excited already for tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. But that was my 2 moments of the damn.
I was going to say, since you stole one of mine. I will, for the sake of diversity, and I guess again I'll throw it in here at the very end. Yes, brought to you by SeatGeek. Thanks to the fine folks at SeatGeek. Go ahead and use code Wrasslin to save yourself $20 off of your first purchase, whether you're buying tickets to a concert or to go and check yourself out some fine professional wrestling. But yeah, my moment of the week, I will go with Dom Rhea just dragging out Dom Mysterio's ass in front of his father.
I was say,
who's your Dom Rhea now?
I was like, who the hell is Dom Rhea?
Right.
Yeah, who's your poppy now? Just
that's a good one.
Rhea coming out with literally her shirt did not have a wrinkle, did not have a speck of dirt, but that man was all sorts of messed up and everything. And then also shit, that's when he ate the spear that took his soul from Edge.
That was the best shit ever.
Yes, that shit right there would definitely be a moment of the goddamn year.
So I guess I'll go with the whole Edge Judgment Day, that whole segment of just Dom just eating a decleater from Edge.
Yep. Well, folks, I think we've been rambling for quite a while. We actually went overtime quite a bit, and we would probably keep going for another couple hours.
Time is a relative construct.
Yeah, right. Fucking hell. But that being said, don't forget this weekend we have GCW Homecoming. Moxley will defend against Effie. The Briscoes are on the card. It's going to be crazy, and then XPW right after it. So one starts at 7, the other one starts at 10. We're going to be rolling all fucking night long. It's going to be a long one. Tomorrow, Friday, triple header Friday. Again, Emergence is going to be three. It's going to be a crazy card and a whole lot of action. And then obviously SmackDown, who knows what's going to happen. Fox likes to make a splash. And then, of course, we got Rampage. So we'll see what's going on there. Like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends. Let them know we're here. Let them know where you can get the best wrestling content possible and where you get to feel like family and come and talk about the wrestling. We don't just, let our numbers be our numbers. We communicate as much as we possibly can, even though Thursdays don't, we don't dive all the way.
This is the time we actually just get to talk instead of answering y'all.
Right. So, but CJ, Nick, what are you guys looking forward to in the next couple days?
SmackDown.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to the whole back end because I feel like we're not through with game-changing stuff happening. We've still got Gargano floating around. We've still got Candice floating around, right? So we've still got Bray, like we kicked off the show, floating around. There's still a lot of intangibles out there, and now this is becoming a dog-eat-dog world. Finally.
I like it. Let's go. It's been a good time for wrestling.
Oh, this is perfect time to be doing what we do on, talking about wrestling.
Perfect. No, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Rumble for this week. I think we rumbled our way through a couple hours and change. To me, we'll be back at it, like I said. And to me, this is my, favorite night of the week as far as just kind of letting loose. And the Bucks.
Oh, it's always good to have a conversation with the congregation.
What?
But yeah, by all means, if you hear what we're saying and you think we're insane or you agree with us, comments below, not just the chat. Let us know in the comments what you think. Don't miss out on all our content, all our shows. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter as well. Other than that, boys, I'm done. How you feeling?
Great.
Yeah.
I feel good, man. I was able to get on the Rumble and actually talk, no Spectrum issues.
It's
I'm
good.
fuck off. Piss off.
Piss off.
But no, man, that's all. Like I said, like they said already earlier, make sure you guys go ahead and visit SeatGeek.com. Go ahead and use that code Wrasslin. It's right there, man. It's legitimate right there. Go ahead and save $20.
It's in our damn name. You should be able to spell it.
Y'all can even buy for AEW tickets too. Damn it.
There you go. No, and then you can use that $20, and you can go and get one of our T-shirts from Maltese and everything. Like I said before, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. This is not financial advice.
I'm telling you what to do with your goddamn money.
You to come up and get some extra $20. Absolutely. Right. It's not, or you could do something strange for a little piece of change. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Right. Well, folks, that is the Rumble. This is the Wrestling for Life Network. That is CJ. That is Nick. I'm KJ. we thank you as always for being here. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.